Six. Perfect. So
Why do I not see it?
the stream.
I have the window open, but
Mm-hmm.
it's. Let me try hitting refresh.
Yeah.
There we are.
Oh, perfect.
Aw, and then a commercial
As it should
Always.
Classic.
Yes.
for
Get
an
those
Amazon original.
be. Mm-hmm.
Get that AdSense, you know.
I've been so one of the things that I've been really excited about while we're waiting for people to come in is I've been looking at these the virtual backgrounds. So I have some fun virtual backgrounds. I've got like the podcast, so I can support that. Oh, I should
Good.
button my cloak. But I've got this Christmas reindeer with sunglasses just so I can be in the spirit, the holiday spirit.
Excellent.
That's dope.
Good.
But the things that I'm really excited about is I just learned you can put videos in your background.
Yes.
So I've really been having a good time with what kind of videos I can have playing while I'm in a meeting.
I have so many students that have figured out how to access the most obnoxious backgrounds.
Yeah.
And it'll be like while I'm trying to teach, and at some students, I literally have to be like, okay, I really need you to turn off the background, please.
Yeah.
I can't make it through a sentence because I'm so distracted.
Yeah.
Or because Zoom's awesome, I just turn off their video for them.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Oh.
So you got this
Those admin privileges really be hitting.
Oh God.
Yeah, I got mine for work too. I gotta get my good dice because last time the dice were not.
They were not. None of us had our good dice.
No, none of us had the good dice.
Here's my background from my Dream Daddy, Stream Daddy Husbando is this one.
Oh,
that's
perfect.
very good.
Yeah.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Hot, if you will.
Love it.
But this one's my favorite right here.
Yeah. It does look like you're at the salon. Like some guys like washing your hair. Oh yeah.
Good.
So tell me about the wife and kids. Tell me about your family. How's the job going?
I'm glad there's no one else around because I feel very comfortable just telling you while you're massaging my.
I love that those hands look like the mountain, like they could crush your head like a grape.
Easily. That's why I come to this salon, Immortal Beloved, here in Richmond, Virginia. Support local business.
So I don't have a cool background to show off or anything, but I do have a giant knife.
Whoa.
That's cool.
A buddy of mine got it for me for my birthday a few years back, and the handle is like this beautiful rainbow wood.
Ooh.
I love that.
Oh, that is
Oz, do you have any
so
kind of a
nice.
desk light that you can turn on to counteract
Unfortunately, did not.
the backlight?
I guess since you're the DM, that kind of makes some sense. I
Yeah,
just
just very looming in the distance.
We created a video for AwesomeCon, and I just realized that I have the files here, so I could actually just be here with me.
Yes.
Oh
Good. Yes.
That's so good.
I love it. No, I only have the light behind me. Unfortunately, I'm at home. Well, Kim and I are both at my parents' place in Orlando, which means I have a better audio setup. But
Yay.
my lighting much worse.
Yeah, I've actually figured out my microphone too, since I had time to actually do that, which is nice. Definitely
Will my
appreciate that.
headphone cable reach my closet? I don't think it will.
I think this whole stream might be me watching the dogs, like going in and out of the back porch.
Yeah.
Which is
So
honestly fine.
this is a good time for me to say to those of you who are in here now, this is the Save Against Disease stream. We're going to be streaming part 2 of our Mörk Borg campaign. If you haven't seen part 1, we're going to have a recap here at the beginning. So don't worry about that. We're going to tie you right in. And it will be a slightly briefer than the whole first stream was. And then from there, we're going to play this indie RPG called Mörk Borg. Everybody has really amazing characters, which I'm sure we'll all have a little rundown. But we are waiting for a few more people to be able to join. I haven't gotten the email notification yet, so I know that Twitch is probably taking a little bit of its time. And I'm also going to drop the link into the Goblins and Growlers Discord and some other places so that we can, get started as we get started.
Sounds good. I'll let some other people know. I've posted on the social medias.
I
I'm
should
posting in,
do that also.
We are posted.
Let's do the thing.
I'm a little disappointed that the email hasn't gone out yet, but Twitch has been. I mean, they're just trying to deal with the fact that they
Do the thing.
are. I'm a little disappointed that experiencing a lot of people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot new,
Yeah.
a lot of new content.
Yeah. So, I'm glad that they at least provide us a cool place for us to.
Hey Oz,
things
can
like
you
this.
text me the pretty Mörk Borg picture that you made for the Save Against Disease, or Alon made,
Yeah.
or whoever made?
I think that they are still in the Discord, but I will send them there once
Oh,
again.
okay.
Yeah,
Is
if
it
you look
the-
in the cave paintings chat.
Where we've been painting
Cave
our
painting?
kids. Yeah.
This also like this the Cloud Rat Alon
Yeah.
link that you posted, absolute fire.
Right?
Like cannot stop listening to it.
Oh my
So
gosh.
good.
Yeah, they are so great.
Very
And,
good.
Have been really great for a long time. But yeah, they have a few. Their old stuff is much more grindy.
Mhm.
It's a lot of anger,
Yeah.
which I appreciated in my angrier days. Their new stuff is like anger, but at like cis normative people and people who are anti-LGBTQ and people who
Yes.
think that women fronted is a genre. So I
Yeah.
love it.
Oh, I love women fronted as a genre. Stereotypes, they're the best. But no, this whole like new album, stellar, absolutely wonderful. It's going on my Instagram story right now.
I did I was really lucky I got invited to a metal radio show because I used to write for No Clean Singing. So every now and again I get lucky and people think I'm still cool, so they'll invite me to a metal radio show. And
Love
they
that.
themed it Dungeons and Dragons for me, which I was very grateful for. So I took Web Weaver from their new album as one of my I was trying to like create all of these enemies that the heroes were fighting through as my theme for how we were doing it, and that's
Good.
I grabbed
That's
the Cloud Rat
rad.
song. Yeah.
I love
Actually,
that.
I just remembered I do have a desk lamp. I will be right back.
Yay!
All right.
Someone's ready to watch us suffer. I'm so glad.
That's my friend Sky. I'm in love with them.
They deserve your love.
I would just like to point out that I'm always suffering.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Well, that's I mean, they just said that they want to come and watch us suffer. So I'm glad that you're starting us out strong.
I mean, suffering is the millennial state of being.
Yeah.
So
Oh my gosh, what happened to our stream window?
Yeah, stream window funky. Stream window.
Is that
I mean, I guess which hand do I need to wave so that I'm visible in the stream window? I don't know if it's the left one or the right one.
I have no idea.
It's
I looked,
not-
I
Find
loo-
out in 5 seconds.
looked away for 1 minute and here we are. Mm.
Yeah, sometimes Twitch is just like, you know what?
Mhm.
And it
It's the-
scrambles.
It's the right hand because that's the moth side. I just saw flash and yeah, look at that.
Ah.
I got it right.
There it is.
Let me see if I can
Ooh, it's lit, fam.
It's lit.
get that
Yay.
figured out. People are gonna see us kind of real time.
Mm-hmm.
Little real time adjustments here.
Real time scooting.
So close. Keep scoot.
Oh, well, we're glad we can help.
Do the check on the little one. There's our little one so we can see the map. We're good. Okay, cool. We're going to scale this back up. We're all over the place. So everybody knows when we scale from small to big in stream, that's actually happening to us in real time. So we're growing or shrinking just to fit the streaming bandwidth, which is a weird feeling. So if you hear us make any noises while that happens,
It's
Yeah.
because it's very painful.
very
Yes,
painful.
the screams of our true suffering.
Yeah. Stream
Our
screams.
I won't
Hashtag
stream
stream
because
scream.
like being a twin means that like you're used to these kinds of extremely painful experiences.
Do you get the
but
random twin hurt? Because I do.
No. Are you also a twin?
I'm a twin.
Holy shit! Are you identical or fraternal?
We're fraternal.
We're
Yeah.
identical.
But I'll call my brother, and I've called him twice when he's been in a car accident.
What do you call him?
Wait, do you call him? And
Wow.
he's like, man, the road's really dangerous today. Oh no!
No, I like something like I'll get like this feeling that like something's happening, and
Yeah.
I'll like call him 5 minutes later and be like, hey, like, are you okay? You know, like, what's up? And he's like, how did you know I just got in a car wreck?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So
I hate to say this, but the common denominator is you, Violet.
It's true.
it's true.
I bring misery everywhere I roam.
So here's my question: have you guys had your twin breakup yet?
No, what do you mean?
Like where, like, eventually twins grow apart and stop getting along with each other for a while, and maybe you come back together, but it's not like you were when you were like 4 and you had your own language. And
We never really had that. Like,
Okay.
we never really had the like identical thing, but we were not friends in high school. Like, we had nothing in common at all
So-
in high school.
okay.
Yeah. And now I'm like, okay, I'm a huge nerd. And he's like, I'm also a huge nerd. I've been a huge nerd. I'm like, okay, yeah, we're here. There was a moment where I was like, no, I don't want to talk to you. Go away.
Yeah.
Wait, y'all are nerds? God, I don't want to talk to
God.
you. Ah.
What a bunch of losers.
Heckin' nerds.
It's weird, like we're identical and we don't like have the twin sense thing that people talk about. We don't.
Mhm. My roommate is like that. My roommate's also a twin,
Oh
an
my
identical
gosh.
twin. Surrounded by twins.
Maybe it's because identical twins, like, we already share DNA, so that's just enough. You know?
Yeah. All right, y'all. I got a kombucha.
Ooh.
We're gonna.
Ooh.
grip it and
what
rip it,
kombucha are you
Trav.
drinking?
I have a Synergy trilogy.
Ah, good choice. Good choice.
Good ones. Yeah.
I'm more of a
that good.
mother kombucha kind of fan.
Yo, my favorite is Health Aid, but that's
Ooh.
like an advanced kombucha. You know, like a Health Aid kombucha is like I need to like get some stuff done with this kombucha.
As soon as we move into our bigger place later this month, I'm gonna start making my own.
Well,
Hell yeah.
Where are
Keep
we
me
gonna
posted.
store that?
Under the sink. It's the best place to
That's.
keep it.
I mean,
There you go.
we're actually gonna have a pantry now, so
Whoa.
Still under the sink.
I know, like
class.
hardcore adulting.
So what about hardcore adulting?
Like when you have a pantry and a washer and dryer in
And-
the space where you live.
And all of them are just full of kombucha.
Yeah, nothing but
Yeah.
kombucha.
Yeah, I keep it
the
in my
booch.
washing machine. It's a good volume. per
Instead
square
of
foot.
detergent, it's just kombucha.
Just kombucha.
yeah, and you don't need to wash your clothes. Actually, you can wash your clothes in it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's a live
Yeah.
agent.
Live.
Perfect
Uh,
5-gallon batch in your washing
Oz
machine.
and
by
I
the way.
just finished watching all of Broad City in about 4 days.
As
And
one
there's
does.
this episode
Attracts.
where they like house sit this mansion in New York where they actually have a washer and dryer, and they just invite every single friend over to do laundry.
So real. Is
And
Very real.
is this the show that has Hannibal Buress?
Yeah.
Yes. I have not
It's
watched the
so
show,
good.
but I love me some Hannibal.
it's real good.
Yeah.
It's real good.
So
All right. Well, it's 10 after. If we want to get
10
this ball
after.
rolling.
I'm
Let's-
disappointed because I haven't received the email yet. What I might
Hmm.
try to do, just because I know that that's super helpful to and been told to us by our Twitch followers that it's. Oh wait, am I receiving it right now? I just got a Twitch notification. Oh, there it is. Okay. Sometimes you ask and you get. So I'd say just give it like 30 more seconds, just while people
Alright.
get that notification, and then we'll jump into what are we doing today? Recap and then jumping into it.
Yeah, gonna do our introductions. I'll
Mhm.
do my little preamble about what we're about.
Yeah, let me
Um,
grab those links so I can have them ready to drop into chat. The fundraisers.
Yeah, for show.
Somebody calling out LaCroix while I'm on screen. Just
Yeah. Don't. You know.
my-
Oh, which
That's
one
one
is
of
that?
our.
Is that the one that was like driven next to a truck of mangoes?
no, this is the one where somebody yelled mango from across the room. and then they
Ah.
sealed it. Yeah.
No, that one's pamplemousse. So someone
is.
said pamplemousse in France, and it showed up in your drink in the United States.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's as I think. I wonder, do I like it because my name is so French? Like, was I born to this fate? I don't know.
LaCroix is made
Maybe.
by the same people that make Fago.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my
Wait,
gosh, I'm
what?
embracing my inner ICP.
You're just a fancy juggalo.
I mean, I've described
Or a
myself.
homestuck.
Oh no.
Oh,
Yeah, I've described myself as a fancy juggalo many a time. It's my
All right, guys, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I gotta go. My mom's calling.
Yep. So, and then we'll do a introduction to our characters, and then and then fill people in and jump on from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think let me just jump over here. I think I've got the links ready now, and seems like we're having some viewers pouring in. So let me do.
yay!
I'll drop links while you're talking if you want to do the introduction.
I see Nia. Hi, Nia.
Hey, what up?
You're right, it is very cursed.
It is cursed. It's so cursed.
Let me see.
And with all that talk about fancy juggalos aside, hi everyone, and welcome to Save Against Disease, a tabletop role-playing live stream campaign for charity. I'm Oz, he, they, and I will be the game master for this campaign. Why don't all of y'all lovely people introduce yourselves and the monstrosities that you will be playing?
Do we want to go in stream order across
Yeah.
the board?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, I'm Violet. I'm Violet _cosplay on Instagram and the Twitter. I am he, they also, and I play Gilbert the Fool in this campaign. I'm very excited to get going through our trials.
My name's Alon. I am he, him. I am with Goblins and Growlers, inclusive community building through tabletop role-playing games. The Dungeon Meowster on my socials. I pointed to the wrong side one of these days. Mirrored images. So I'm playing Gorm Larson, and yeah, thank you guys.
I'm Kim. She, her, though I'm pretty open to literally any pronoun. I play Ernge, the fanged deserter.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Means you eat a
who
lot of
has-
desserts.
Yeah, who has many pets, and only says Ernge. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Ben, he, him, Drunkle Ben on every social media, and I play Scrum the Bastard, who is a gutter-born scum. He's fun, and his best friend is a skull named Bob.
We love Bob.
I do love
a good
Bob.
I think about Bob all the time. That's all I think
just-
about.
Mhm.
Realized I forgot my social media handle, which is Sanji's Closet. I'm sorry, guys.
Don't be sorry. You have
Don't
a
be sorry,
little.
just don't do it
We all
again.
have tags when we're
Yeah,
talking.
I need to make a sticky note of the things to talk about.
Don't be sorry, be Sanji's Closet. Everybody go and follow on Instagram.
Ah.
Oh, and also speaking of social media, this stream has a Twitter now. We can be found on Twitter at Disease Save.
Disease save. I was wondering if we went with Lard Sad Boys, like that was my
You know,
vote.
it was tempting.
Yeah. A little harder to find, probably.
I feel like that only persists while we're playing this Mörk board campaign.
Right.
And once this is done, we switch to something else. People will be like,
Right.
Sad Boys.
Lard Sad Boys was probably already taken anyways.
It is a hot commodity.
Yeah.
Lard, yeah. Any Lard username basically
Right.
completely used
You pretty
up.
much have to use leet speech, like L4
R.
R0. I don't know what leet speech is these days.
No, that sounds right. Yeah.
Scrum and Silent
Scrum
Bob.
and Silent Bob.
I want Scrum to get a title so we can be like it could either be Scrum Lord or Scrum Master.
Scrum Lord.
Yeah.
I love it.
Hmm.
I really want it to be something that's like almost a pun off of like scrubbing bubbles or something.
Yeah. McBubbles.
scrumming corpses.
You mean
I don't
McBobbles
know.
because Bob would be on a little bobblehead action
Yes!
figure? Yeah.
Oh my god.
Scrumming baubles.
Yeah, it would have to be a McDonald's bobblehead action figure from the
Perfect.
pre-apocalypse.
If we
Mörk
could get a Bob
Dognall.
Funko, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Oh, can you imagine? Well,
Funko
you know,
Bob.
just get a Funko and rip the head off and repaint it.
We've seen all the skulls you keep around your house, Ben.
Hey, come on, that's supposed to be a secret.
It's the right time to upcycle the collectible Bob action figures.
Sometimes you just have skulls, you know?
I mean,
Personally, I got rid of mine a long time ago.
Just
This
it's
is-
soft up here.
It's
we
full of
didn't-
newspaper.
Mhm. Reinforced. Should we give a little bit of character backstory for those who are watching our stream for the first time before we give a recap on the first one? What do you think, Oz?
Yeah, I'm here for that. I'd love to hear about all of these beautiful misfits.
Same order.
All
Yeah.
right. So far, we have learned that Gilbert has a court jester that is following him around. His name is Poltroon, and he will occasionally play music and encouragement for all the members of the party. We've also learned that Gilbert's sword has a sweet affect, but also is constantly hazing him for using it and mentioning that he would rather not be tossed into battle or generally killing things in any way. So Gilbert is constantly sort of talking to the sword at his hip. He also has another sword that doesn't speak, so this is obviously not a personal affectation and is sourced inside the sword. But that's what we've learned so far about Gilbert.
I imagine Poltroon. I'm blanking on the name, so everybody's gonna have to correct me. But I imagine he gives me the like Witcher vibes.
Jaskier.
Oh, like Jaskier?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
When
Good.
I was writing Gilbert, I messaged Oz, and I was like, hey, you know, I really kind of want to be the jester, but we decided to keep them separate just in case Poltroon died.
Right.
And he was like, no, I think we should keep them separate. And I went, oh, so you're giving me permission not just to be Jaskier, but to be Geralt. So that's the dynamic that we have going on here.
Perfect. Good.
Beautiful.
I'm glad I was on point. So
Right on the nose.
yeah, my character's Goem. Goem is he is of the class Esoteric Hermit. I guess we could share the class.
Oh, mine is a Wretched Royalty, which I
Ooh.
have never mentioned on the stream.
Yeah,
before.
I don't think I said what Gorm was last time either. But for those who are interested in the indie RPG of Mörk Borg, this is why I'm Esoteric Hermit. He has various lists. I think we rolled 3 different personality disorders for him. From the trials and tribulation chart in character building. So he's dealing with Gorm has 2 very distinct personalities that live inside of him that are almost completely opposite on what they want to do. He has a ton of fears that we haven't gotten to yet, but I'm sure we'll stumble into. And Gorm, he wants to be helpful just as much as he wants to not be involved in anything.
The amazing thing about Gorm is that when I was asking everyone for backstories, Alon wrote an epic poem for me and sent it to me.
Yeah, I did it in meter. Just
Incredible.
yeah, it was rhyming meter epic poem because we were joking around and I was like, I'll send you my backstory and epic poem, and then that night I was like, you know what, we're here. Yeah.
Nothing but time.
Right.
And I play Ernge, URNG, Ernge, spelled all caps. Ernge is the Fanged Deserter class, and he wears a metal mask that looks like it was made from a piece of scrap metal that was sort of hammered into shape. It's covering, or it's hiding the fact that his face is actually rotting underneath it. Has some eyes drilled out, and it has this beautiful, like super vibrant, realistic orange just painted right into the center of it. And all that Orange can say is Orange. He has 3 beautiful pets, a mule named Orange, a dog named Orange, and a rat named Orange.
And Gilbert has taken up the reins of being the translator for Orange.
Yes.
Gilbert, after the first session, learned how to speak Orange.
Speaks the
Gilbert's
Orange.
a learned man.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
he understands linguistics as much as he possibly can.
And eventually we will figure out what the rest of the party's names are in Orange.
Wow. Well, if we survive that long.
If we
Yes.
survive
Yeah.
that long.
I think that's important.
Trouble.
Caveat. Yeah. Real quick, I don't know if anyone's hearing the little bit. I think maybe your microphone, Oz, might be picking up your fan. Just as a
Or is it my microphone picking up the road?
And the wind.
yeah, it's wind. Whatever it is wind.
Is it? Because
But
there's
it's
a
not
fan
earth,
on.
fire,
There's
water,
a
or
fan
heart.
on up like above me, but other than that, it's just like there's road noise
I think
out here.
I know I'm just picking up a little bit of wind. Hopefully, if you guys could let us know in the chat if you're hearing anything that sounds like wind noises, let us know. We'll troubleshoot that for you. We don't want anybody to
Be blown away.
get blown
Miss
away
anything?
by
I can bend the microphone down a little bit, so
our,
it's.
Ooh. Protected.
I've also been
Oh, everybody says we sound great. If you have any
Oh,
audio
good.
issues at any point in time, just ping me in chat. I've got a full audio board that I set up just for this stream that I can continue to confuse and do poorly, but with an effort to do well. So sorry, I jumped in there, Ben. It's your
Hey, that's the important part, though, is that you're trying.
thank you.
Hi. So I play Scrum the Bastard. His class is the Gutterborn Scum. He's an escaped orphan who has problems with authority, and his best friend is a skull named Bob. Really, other than that, there's not a whole lot known about Scrum. He's not really a team player, and definitely does not like being told what to do, and kind of goes off on his own whenever he can.
Seems like
Which has ended. What?
I was gonna say that seems like a good transition to where we are right now.
Yes.
Exactly.
Exactly. So to recap the last game, our intrepid quartet was being marched to the gallows for their execution. And they were stopped on their way there by an elderly woman wearing the robes of the Church of the Two-Headed Basilisk. This woman had a glass eye and kind of hobbled her way over to these people and insisted that they were special, that they were important, and it was up to them to find one of the missing church children of the Two-Headed Basilisk. And so they had a lead on where to go. They followed that lead to the Valley of the Unfortunate Undead, and found a dungeon, which has led to many wounds on them. Scrum left for better days, that's for sure. And they've been looking all throughout this place, trying to find the lost boy. They fought a big, scary guy with a red-hot flail.
Did we name him? Did he have a name?
He did have a name, but you didn't stop to ask.
Oops.
You're trying to survive.
It's always the ones that you don't name.
This sounds like a good time for Chat to name him. Chat, if you have a name for
chat.
the cannibal.
Chat
who we
retcon.
fought. Yeah.
Yeah, he does have a canon name, but I would love to see what chat names the bald man built like a grizzly bear, 7 feet tall, covered in
Tattoos.
tattoos, and
Cannibal.
eats people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He'll make an inky skin.
Yeah. And then one last thing before we go too much farther on the recap, I realize we missed the most important thing. This is a fundraising stream. We are trying to raise some money for some local charities that are doing some really great things during this difficult, uncertain time for a lot of people. So those charities, which I've linked into chat just a little bit ago, but I will link them again, are Print the Curve Flat, which Oz is going to tell you some stuff about them now while I grab that link.
So Printing the Curve Flat is a coalition of people with 3D printers that have been printing face masks, face shields, and ear relievers for doctors, nurses, and other people on the front lines of this pandemic. They're a fantastic group of people, and they're doing a wonderful cause.
Sweet. I dropped that GoFundMe link is where they're fundraising for all of the materials that they're using to do these 3D prints to help doctors and those on the front lines. The other, I'm going to try to multitask here, which I always do poorly. The other charity, can you tell I'm crushing it, that we are fundraising for is Feed More. They're a local food bank here in Richmond, Virginia that I've worked with before. They're really amazing people. They go to food deserts, and which are places that don't have easy access to supermarkets because of lots of different external sources. And they have prepared and nutritious meals for people. And especially right now, during the quarantine, there's a lot of groups that are really struggling with getting proper food. So that's what they're doing, and they're really amazing. So that I've dropped their direct donation link into chat. There is no code for ensuring that we track this. It's honestly, we're not tracking it. It's just something that we love doing, and we really hope that you guys, if you have some money that you're looking to find some really good charities to give to, both of these are really awesome, and we hope that you at the very least take some time to familiarize yourself with the things that they're doing in local communities to make things better.
And we're still in the process of getting some giveaways set up for people who donate. And any donation, if you take a screenshot or a picture of your donation receipt and send it as a direct message to the Save Against Disease Twitter @DiseaseSave, then we will make sure to give a shout out and put you in the running for any giveaways that we have coming up.
Yes, absolutely. And I think we have a winner on the name for our jabroni here.
Is it Jessica?
Is
Yeah.
it Jessica?
I'm taking two different suggestions, and I'm gonna say it's Lord Jessica, but with the
Lord
umlaut.
Jessica.
Yeah.
Well, the umlaut would make
Lord
it
Lord. Yeah,
Lord.
Lord Jessica.
It would be honestly, if we're doing the umlaut, then it's probably Lord Jessica with a nice soft.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah.
that nice yes sound.
Yeah.
Like a fan cam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me just make it real here real quick. I'm gonna just drop that in. While I'm doing that, you can continue.
Yeah, we need a session recap, buds.
So they were exploring through the dungeon. They encountered guards that just seemed to be guarding. There was a pit with a disgusting black sludge that reeks of sulfur, and in the center of the pit is a pillar with 2 violin playing skeletons. And where we last left off, they were going down a hallway and fell into a pit, and they've suffered some damages from that. Our travelers are a little bit worse for wear with the damage that they have taken, but they are still trying to find this missing child.
What was his name again? I know we got a name for him.
Yeah, his name was, let me scroll to the right page.
Just so we have something to yell when we find
A child.
Yeah.
Hopefully a living child.
right.
I scrolled past the page. Alden, Aldon.
Right.
Alden Brown, the
Yep,
missing child.
Mhm.
exactly.
And the color robe he was wearing.
I mean, it's common to just name children based off the robes that they are wearing when they're born.
The robes they were born with.
Yep.
The robes they wore into the world.
And so
Okay.
last week, before we really get these bones rolling, Kim, you mentioned a story that had the chat intrigued.
The cicadas. Yeah, about smuggling like 200. No, it was more than that. Smuggling like 1,000 cicadas into Denmark. That was my proof that I could figure out how to mail the jar of lard for anyone that won that. So I did a 2-week artist workshop when I was still studying ceramics in Denmark, just outside of Copenhagen, about 2 hours outside of Copenhagen, in a town called Guliago. And this specific studio allows artists to work with designers that from Royal Copenhagen Porcelain. Such a hard name to say. Royal Copenhagen Porcelain. And it's really cool because unless you work for Royal Copenhagen, you can't get that porcelain as an artist to just work with, unless you go to this art retreat. Looking for the right word for it. Anyway, and at the time I was really into slip casting cicadas in porcelain, or cicada shells in porcelain. So I had gone around campus and collected like literally 1,000, like 10 boxes of 100 each or more cicada shells, and smuggled those into Denmark through customs. Hopefully my FBI agent isn't listening right now.
Right. Don't worry, we're going to record this. We'll download it just to make sure that it's there forever. So if anybody decides they want to future incriminate you.
I'm turning my phone upside down as if that helps. So, and I made probably 800, maybe a little less, porcelain cicadas. Some of them went into some Royal Copenhagen artworks, like cups, where the rest of the cup is made out of cicadas. And then I just have boxes of porcelain cicada shells, and then coming home, bringing home all of these porcelain cicadas, but also smuggling the remaining 200 or 300 not porcelain cicada shells back through U.S. Customs. So they're pretty cool. The porcelain is so fine that like you can hold up these cicada shells to the light and they're translucent. So it's like a really cool, weirdly niche thing.
And
porcelain is like such a interesting and like fine material to work with. I'm sure that they're like glowy in real life.
They're beautiful. It's like the whitest, like cheap porcelain. If you're not a ceramist, you might not know, but like cheap porcelain, if you fire it too high, it'll turn like reddish or yellow. And this Royal Copenhagen porcelain is just pure white. And then when you put that clear glaze over it, if it's really thin, it's translucent. It's the most insane thing. They're beautiful.
So how do I win one of these?
I don't know what's the price that we want a donation to win one of these. We were spitballing before. Oz, do you remember what we had been
So
discussing?
You said that because of the price of the raw materials for it, you said that $15 puts you in the running to win.
I think, yeah, that sounds fair, you know, because I mean, these Royal Copenhagen is one of the oldest producers of porcelain in the world. And their porcelain is so fine and so purely made. Like each of these cicadas is probably like $50 in materials alone. So for a $15 donation, I figured I'd put up like, because I've used several of them in art already, but figured I'd start by putting up like 5 of them for a giveaway, 5 individual ones. You know, donate $15, to either of the charities and send a screenshot. Is that how we're doing it?
Yep. Send a screenshot to @DiseaseSave on Twitter.
Yeah, and then you'll be put in a raffle for the opportunity to win a Royal Copenhagen porcelain cicada shell.
We should also emphasize these were illegally smuggled cicada shells two ways. So this is this is true
The
art.
sentimental value alone, like the
It's- yeah.
performance piece.
Exactly.
Yes.
And they're like, I maybe have, after doing other art pieces, I have such a limited number left that this is a set number, a set edition of porcelain cicada shells, and there will never be more.
There'll never be more.
There will. I
Right.
When am I gonna get to go back to Denmark?
Who in their right mind would smuggle so many cicada shells into Denmark? It might never occur ever again.
Right.
Yeah,
Let alone know how to slip cast them in porcelain.
not only that, but they make ideal, if you're a big Carlsberg fan, they make ideal drinking companions. You can talk to them while you drink your Carlsberg. You can feel incredibly Danish. You can have some glögg on the side.
They look a little bit like candy.
They look like candy. You should meet them, but we're not going to tell you how to live your life.
They feel a little crunchy, and the silicosis could kill you. But
Right.
Silicosis. What a word.
Or
that is a real thing.
Or it could, while we're talking about breaking laws on a recording, it could kill your enemies. Now, I'm not suggesting that you should ever do that. Just saying that it.
What I've taken away from all of this is that I can start referring to my skin tone and my complexion as cheap porcelain. Because when I get too hot, I turn reddish, and when I cool down, it's a little yellow.
And
Yeah.
hanging out with you too long, people get silicosis. And...
Yeah.
All right. So I just tweeted about the first giveaway prize on the Save Against Disease Twitter @DiseaseSave. And I think with that, we should address the elephant in the room, or rather the adventurers in the hole, because Scrum and Orange just fell into a pit where last we left off.
Did we remember our content warning?
Alon, do you want to give us our content warning before we...
Yeah, so we are going to try to keep the language PG-13 during this stream. That does not guarantee that we will. In fact, we usually slip up during one of these streams at least once or twice, but we do promise to try to keep it PG-13. Secondly, there is, by nature of this game, lots of blood, gore, guts, some general darkness, and probably some satanic themes. That's any stream I run, but probably a little bit emphasized here during Mörk Borg. So anything else you guys can think of? Those are just those are for sure gonna come up. So that's important to know. Thank you, guys.
I think you got it covered. So are we ready to go?
Yes.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. So Orange and Scrum, you have just fallen down into a hole. What does everyone do?
How deep is the hole?
So it was about a 12-foot fall.
Okay, so for about 2 seconds, you just hear Orange.
Wow, you calculated that time perfectly. Exactly 2 second fall.
Scrum is just gonna go and just throw up.
Oh man, because Scrum has 1 hit point.
Yeah.
Nothing gets the blood pumping like a concussion.
Hopefully you're throwing up that poison. Ooh, deathly
All right.
silent.
Yeah. Ooh. Gilbert will run over and like kind of like poke his head, because the gray next to our little blue box is kind of where things went to hell, correct? Next to our artwork on the wall.
Yep.
So Gilbert will like run down and like peer over, hearing all of this commotion, and say, "Hello," and sort of lean down and see what the situation is down there. What would Gilbert see at the bottom of this hole?
So, from the lights that line this hallway, numbered 6 on the map, you can vaguely see the silhouette of your companions down the hole. And to Scrum and Orange, you all can see a source of light coming from down this tunnel. It seems to be illuminating that area a little bit.
Wait, we can see what? Can you ping that on the map?
Yeah. So here you can see a little bit of illumination coming from lights.
Okay, so we're like right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, you can, Gilbert, you can see the silhouette of Scrum and Orange at the bottom of this pit.
Do you guys need to come up? Do you want to come out of the hole, or what's going on? I have rope here. I have 30 feet of rope. Orange, there's something down there. There's something down there, Orange.
There's a boy who's fallen down a well.
Should I tell you what Orange is
Lassie?
telling you, or should I just make you guess?
No, please.
Guess.
See,
Can
I'm gonna
I
say,
insight check Orange?
I'm gonna say that because you can't really see Orange's eyes or his facial expressions, which are
Mhm.
already hidden by his mask, but he's farther away. You can't
Mhm.
really read his emotions from this far away.
Okay. Gilbert is going to try and like tie the rope to the pump and like feed it into the hole.
All right, let's see.
Is 30 feet
5,
long enough?
10,
Because like 5, 10, 15, 20.
That's so.
And then they would
it's
have-
a far pump.
Yeah. So it'll be 5, 10, 15, 20 feet just to get to the hole.
Is 10 feet, how deep is it?
It's 12 feet deep, so they could actually jump up and grab it.
All right, putting a rope there.
Okay.
You see a dangling snake coming down the hole.
Twisting and turning.
Right.
So I'm gonna grab the rope and go ahead and climb back on up.
All right, yeah.
Okay.
You're able to get purchase on the sides of this tunnel, and you're able to make your way back up.
Gilbert's gonna like pat just the side of the metal on Orange's face and say, "Are you okay, bud?"
And once Orange climbs out of the hole, he'll give Gilbert another one of those like knock breath out of the lungs smacks on the back as a thank you, and just Orange.
You're welcome. Ugh.
Scrum. Grab the rope, Scrum.
Scrum, are you good?
Okay. And Scrum will start climbing his way up. Carefully.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, you're able to climb up the rope and get back to the top of not being in a hole.
Gorm grabs his hand and pulls him up, and he's like, "The darkness ate you. You're now a shell of who you once were." And then it's also like, "You're probably dehydrated. Don't worry, we have some water over here." And he goes and he just pumps some more of the, wasn't it like muddy, gross?
Yeah, it was like muddy brown water. It wasn't really viscous. It was
That's-
still
That's what I'm
water
used
density.
to. Gorm's gonna drink some.
Okay.
So I'll just take it, and he's gonna be like, "Here, you need to rehydrate from all of your loss of hydration."
Do-do-do-do. And
Uh-oh. When the DM starts to do some stuff because someone drank something, I'm like, oh no.
Gorm, you're healed for 3 HP.
What? It must be because I'm perfectly clean.
Does he feel it? Like, can he feel the healing entering his body?
Yeah, so the damage that he's taken from these previous fights and stuff, despite its muddy complexion, this water, it still tastes like surprisingly good. And from his damages taken from Lord Jessica, I believe it was.
Lord.
Jessica. Soft
Yeah.
way.
Lord Jessica, of course, my
Thank
bad. You can feel like the burns that you took like start to heal up a little bit.
Yeah. May he rip it in pieces.
Would we see this happen? Like, would we see him sort of take some healing? Because if so, Gilbert's gonna stride right over and be like, "Don't mind if I do," and like.
I
just
I would say it's not
dip
too
his hands in.
visible because
Okay.
his armor's still damaged, but the skin underneath has healed up.
I'm
but-
definitely. I mean, my skin was immaculate to begin with. I exfoliate with. I can't remember what I exfoliate with. It was like dirt or something.
It was sand and
Oh,
lard.
Sand and lard. Yeah. Oh, thank you. No, it was the ashes of the fire and lard.
That's right.
The charred
Right,
ember.
right.
Yeah,
Yes.
purification of the skin. Yeah. So, but I mean, it's very high. It's so hydrating. It tastes like holy water, but not with the evil pinging in your insides.
And like holy water, and we'll address that later. And Gilbert's gonna walk over and also drink from it. Get that sweet Healy.
Sweet Healy.
That's
Yeah, so you
sweet,
go and
sweet
drink.
Healy.
you go and you get your Heelys. You are healed for 2 health.
All right.
Scrum.
Scrum.
Drink
Scrum.
this.
Scrum's gonna walk over and he's gonna make like a bowl with his hands and kind of cup the water, and then he's just gonna bury his face in the hand bowl and
Bubbles.
like waterboarding, screaming, just like.
Bubbles,
Scrum, you were healed for 3 health.
woo.
And
Nice.
So
and now that you're here, eat this.
Do you hand him your hair?
Yeah, it's to help with the digestion.
Sure, I will eat the lard and ash covered hair.
Beautiful.
Mm,
You take 1 point of
nutritious.
damage.
A little hard to swallow.
I'm gonna go get Ernst the dog, who, as we recall from last week, was injured for over half of his hit points
From
Oh,
fighting with
yeah.
the mongrel.
fighting a zombie dog. So I'm gonna lead Ernst the dog over and have him drink from the bowl and gently pet his head.
Yeah. So Ernst the dog is healed for 2 points of health.
Nice.
And then I'll bury my face in the actual trough of the pump and drink.
And Ernst, you are healed for 4 points of health.
Wow.
Worth it.
While this is happening, I feel like Gilbert would kind of investigate this trapdoor situation that we have going on here. Is it open?
Yes. That is where you came out of from the
Oh,
stairs
right,
from room
right, right.
15.
Okay. So if no trapdoor, then I think back like over to the pit. If he's gonna peer into the pit, can we see the light kind of coming from the side?
I thought you were gonna stop there. Can we see the light? Is it finally
Can
over?
we see that? Is there a sweet release?
So the light that Ernst and Scrum saw is
Mhm.
very faint. It doesn't really make its way up through the hole in which they fell.
Mm-hmm. Scrum, did you see anything while you were down there? Is there anything just sort of hanging out in the pit, or was it just a trap? I'm making sure there's no spikes, and otherwise I feel like we can maybe tightrope our way across this little situation, as long as we don't stop and stare at the art on the walls.
Are we referring to the hole or the hallway?
I'm talking about the pit.
The pit.
Yeah.
Probably the trap door.
Scrum saw a light at the end of the tunnel.
There's a tunnel down there?
Yes.
Should we go investigate it?
listen.
Probably.
Well, wait. We should get the full side of the story. What do you think? What did you find down there? Orange.
Ernst.
Okay. Was it so fresh garlic?
Orange.
Ernst is just, he's petting his dog, fully aware that he's being mocked. And he's really irritated that he's being made fun of. But he's most concerned with how he's going to get his dog down into the pit. And he's going to communicate all of this by just staring very point blank at Gorm and saying, Ernst.
I you know what? I should roll a presence to see.
If you understand.
Okay, so Ern says there's garlic down there.
Oh no. Gilbert, understanding this, as appointed understander of earned, will like look back and be like, it's gonna be okay, and like do one of the little like, I got this, and sort of walk over and say, hey, be nice to the earned, get in the pit, and sort of like pick up the rope and like wiggle it, be like, let's go, you first.
Yes, darkness has already spit me out once. So climbing down the rope.
Yeah. So real quick before I take the reins again, huge shout out to Alka Wammet for the $15 donation.
Yes, thank you so much.
That's awesome.
Have your name written down in the list of donors. Thank you so much.
Hope there's a illegally sourced porcelain insect in your future.
Yes.
Little cicada action.
Mm-hmm.
All
and
right.
By the way, any tips that come during this stream are going straight to those charities. I don't know if we've said that before, but
we did in the first stream. We didn't cover that in this one. But
Recap.
yeah, any donations or subscribers or anything like that will be donated to these charities.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you guys so much.
Yay. Yeah.
All right. So
who's gonna? We'll see who the lard winner is.
Oh yeah. Kim has a vintage 2016 jar of lard.
Good year.
That's when the collection started. It's a good year for lard. And we have a running donation. If you donate $50, that puts your name in the running to win this jar of lard that all of us will sign, actually.
We'll leave lard fingerprints.
Yeah. The jar is mysteriously coated with lard.
Yeah.
Well,
it makes it mailed faster.
Could be talked into making like a save against disease label for the jar of lard. And then sign with like your lard fingerprint.
Lard is love. Lard is life.
Yeah.
DM.
Our Goblins
It's
and
true.
Growlers art team might also be willing to do some cool things for the lard.
Some cool label.
The
Save
Feral
against
Fox
lard.
people. Yeah, I think they would do something. Because that sounds very up their alley and weirdness and stuff that they like to do art for.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
All right. So is it just Gorm going down the rope, or is everyone following suit?
Gilbert will
Scrum will
follow.
follow.
All right. Ernst.
Urge.
Ernst will oh my god. Anyway. The service here is great. Ernst is going to first make sure that Ernst makes it safely down into the pit.
All right. How are you doing that? Are you like helping him down the rope, or?
I think because Ernst is a strong lad, I'm going to pick up my dog Ernst, and who I want to say is about the size of Oz's dog Oakley.
Okay, so it's a 50-pound dog.
He's a 50-pound dog, and gonna just kind of put him over his shoulder and go down the rope one-handed.
Much like I do with Oakley.
Yes. Who's pawing at the door right now?
So I'm going to say that, yeah, you can take the precautions into place to do this gently and carefully well enough.
Yes.
So you're able to slowly make your way down. You know, you're not in a rush or anything. And a lot of you make it down into the base of this tunnel. And as I ping here on Roll20, you can see a faint light coming from the distance.
I go to the light. They always told me to go away from it, but I never trusted them.
So you guys make your way through lovely Tunnel 10 here. And are you stopping once you get to the threshold of this door, or are you just kind of going to the source of it?
I'm embracing the light.
All right. So you walk into this room, and it is a greenhouse that isn't really doing its job because it is underground. In the center of the room is a table. There is a woman with like earthen-colored robes, and there are 3 men around her. And she turns and looks to you and says, "Oh, hello there.
Oh,
Uh,
hi.
Please come in. Please come in."
Gilbert following will step into the room and say, "Hello. So sorry to intrude," and like sort of like push his arms back and like slow the other 2 behind him and see like, okay, how is this gonna pan out?
So yeah, this woman is sitting at the table with these 3 men. They're dressed in rags. And she says, "Ah, so there are more of you. How are you?"
Good.
Scrum's gonna press
been
himself
better.
up against the wall.
Gilbert's just kind of like, "Hi, Scrum. Hello." We're having quite a day. Was just wondering, as long as we're not intruding, could
Oh,
we
no,
ask
not
you
at
some
all.
could we ask you some questions about your grow up down here?
Oh, of course. If I can ask you some questions in return.
Upon reasonable means, I think that we could probably work that out.
I have an entire backstory written in epic poem form.
Let's get started then. If I can go first.
And she interrupts you and says, "So what is it that you are doing here?" As you step closer, this woman has long, like stark black hair, and she has some like markings, like tattoos around her eyes.
Okay. Is there anything else in the room, like looking around, that would like tip any of us off to nefarious deeds or anything else? Like, are there like bones like coming out of the ground? Is it just like a greenhouse with pots? Like what?
Yeah, it seems to be a just greenhouse. It has palms, cacti. There are flowers that just grow about it.
Is there any indication of how these things are growing underground?
So there is a small little part like here where it seems like it pierces through the ground and just a small amount of light comes through. And you can see that just a small amount of light is coming through from the northwest corner.
They're sitting at a table.
Yes.
And there's 3 men in rags.
Yes.
They
the
eating
table
anything?
is pretty much where the 11 is.
Okay.
They're drinking tea.
Oh. What kind of leaf are we drinking today?
So she says that this is just it's grown here in the greenhouse. It's very flavorful, a little bit sweet, but not too sweet.
I'd love some. I brought some water from the muddy water.
You all look tired. Please come in, sit down, take a rest.
Gilbert will like very cautiously come and sit down, and if he can like inspect one of the dudes in rags, what's his what are their temperaments like?
So as like you enter into the room, Gilbert and Gorm, 2 of the men stand up and offer their seats. They seem just to have a very like flat affect there, like not emoting a tremendous amount or anything. They haven't said anything yet.
Can Gilbert like do one of these like in front of the guy and see how he reacts?
So his eyes like follow the direction of your hand a little bit.
Okay.
His brow furrows a little bit in confusion.
So sorry, don't mean to be rude. Just it's been a long day, and Gilbert's gonna go ahead and sit down. Probably not gonna drink anything, but definitely gonna sit down and is gonna sort of motion at Poltroon, who I'm assuming followed him.
Yeah.
And be like, "Come here," and have him sit next to him.
Okay. And the woman says, "No, please, I insist. Please have something to drink."
Way ahead of you. Way ahead of you. Second cup, please.
Going for it.
It was very hot. I can't taste anything anymore, but it seemed refreshing.
Scorched.
As Ernj walks in, Ernst runs ahead of him, like gallops ahead of him, being a very precocious, friendly dog. And I would love to submit. For fairness and randomness of tabletop RPGs, we should probably roll for which person Ernst the dog jumps on.
So yeah, let's see. Can't keep my dice on the table. So it is going to be one of the men.
Perfect. That's what I was hoping for.
And the man kind of looks down at the dog and kind of gently pushes the dog off of his leg. So
Okay.
also, Gorm, are you drinking the tea?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So you drink the tea, and as it was described, it is a little bit sweet, not too sweet. It's the perfect temperature that tea should be, and you can feel your wounds heal for another 4 points of damage.
You know, drinking things has really been good to me so far.
I'm shocked.
Everyone take a sip of their beverage in honor.
I can't
Scrum,
wait
what
to
you doing?
backfire this in the most beautiful way. Hold on.
I mean, it's inevitable. Gorm has such a positive association with drinking at this point that can't go wrong, right?
Scrum is going to sneakily, with his back pressed against the wall, make his way into the room and just kind of like skirt around the edges of the room as much as he can without knocking things over.
Yeah, make an agility check.
No.
What did you get?
That's a 5.
So you kind of skirt into the room, and it is well lit with a couple of oil lamps. And ooh, that's a lovely sound.
I'm sorry, your neighbor is mowing the lawn.
Oh no.
It might be proper time to move inside.
It seems like they went into the front yard, so
Yeah, we're not hearing anything right now, but if it comes up, we'll assume that Orange
I'm like guarding the microphone when they sound like they're coming close with my hands. I could also mute myself on Zoom.
Also true. So, Scrum, you circle around and just immediately brush into some plants and lock eyes with one of these men. And the woman says, she looks over her shoulder at you and says, "Oh, please come on, join us."
I'm just going to keep my back pressed against the wall.
Join us, Scrum. Join us.
Real quick, thank you, Cosmic Spade, for the $15 donation.
Woo,
Everybody turning
thanks.
up for the cicadas. I love you guys.
You guys are all fantastic. We appreciate the donations.
They're really good. I say this with my hands cupped around the microphone because I wanted to respond as the lawnmower was near me.
All right. So, of course, this woman has asked, so why are you all here?
We are,
We fell.
yes, we did fall.
From heaven and grace.
Always falling from grace. And it fell through a hole in the floor over there. How long have you guys been down here?
Well, I have been down here for a month and a half.
Okay, so we were looking for a boy. His name is Alden, but the only thing that we've been able to find here has been some guards, and you're the first people that we've encountered that have been generally friendly. And I think Gilbert is gonna like smell the tea and consider drinking it. If you could tell us a little bit about why you're here for an entire month in your small quarantine.
Oh,
And while Gilbert's talking, Ernst is just going to plop down into a seat and take the teacup of tea that's in front of him and just put it on the ground for his dog. I say this because there's a lull while the lawnmower is far away.
Yeah, I can't hear it, so you're good.
Perfect. I've been muted. So like when they go away, I unmute real fast and throw in my antithesis and then mute again.
So let's see if the dog is prone to drinking hot tea. And the dog doesn't really seem too interested in it. But the woman responds to Gilbert and says, "Ah, well, I believe that the sludge here, it has empowering properties, magical properties that I believe I can use. And I've also been trying to kill the large tattooed man."
Oh, you mean Lord Jessica?
Well, that is not a name I've heard before, but I suppose that is the name.
Unfortunately, he's sleeping with the fishes.
Oh, all of you were able to kill him?
Yes, as soon
Gilbert nods and like drinks the tea finally, like, uh-huh.
And the woman like signals towards the men and says, "They're okay. They're okay."
Orange is gonna pick up the teacup off the floor and take a sip out of it, and then put it under the dog's nose again.
Okay. So yeah, the dog still doesn't really seem interested, and just a
That's-
metagame, it's gonna take more than a sip to get the healing from it.
That's fine.
And the woman kind of looks around for a moment and says, "Well, since you have done that, here, let me get these other drinks for you." And she goes over to another plant. At this point, Alon, after having 2 cups of this tea, the walls of this greenhouse seem as if they're like wobbling and kind of starting to melt.
it's the normal.
Yeah, it's that means that it's kombucha.
Right. It's washing machine kombucha.
Perfect.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
All right. Is it
And-
like it? Can we see that happening? Like, do we see him like doing like the trip, like
Let me
look around?
Let
like,
me roll a presence real quick.
Okay.
So help me out with what this means, Oz. But I rolled an 8.
So yeah, you're not really able to disguise it. You're kind of like entranced by the walls melting around you.
So you can see Gorm is not in a swivel chair, but Gorm is in a chair where he lifts it up onto one leg and uses his feet to kind of like rotate it.
As soon as Orange sees this, he pulls the teacup out from under his dog's nose and he just tilts his head back and just pours it down his throat.
So Orange, you're healed for another 4 points of health.
Nice.
And as the woman is collecting other leaves from these plants, she says, "Now, what he is experiencing is what normally happens when you drink this tea. It's what I do to people I do not trust, but because you killed the large man, here, drink this." And she places these other cups with these leaves floating in it. "Drink this, and you will not feel the effects that he is feeling, unless you want to feel those effects. It is very fun. I'm feeling them right now."
Oh my god. Gilbert will go ahead and say, if you don't mind, and like try and take one of the fancy ones from her as well, the fancy like the antidotes.
Yeah.
And like pounded antidote,
Yeah.
and then sort of like rake his fingers through his hair and go, "So that boy that I mentioned, have you guys been down here for a month? Have you seen anyone come through? Is this a passing through sort of situation, or are you just tripping in a room full of leaves?"
I have not seen any boy here. I have been doing my best to burrow through this, whatever it is, and trying to get to the source of this black sludge here.
Where is the black sludge? Does she indicate a sludge?
She kind of points in a general direction, but you know that the sludge that she's talking about is the one in the pit with the skeleton tower.
Yeah, it's around the tower.
Okay.
Also, Gilbert, you're healed for 2 damage.
Okay. Is there any way that we could potentially help you? Because we were just up by a pool of this black sludge. It didn't seem to have an origin. But have you found anything out about the sludge or what it does?
Oh, that is because it is coming from deep underground here.
Oh.
I've been trying to as I said, burrow to the source where I believe that it might have great powers.
Right.
I can
So
only assume that the sludge is what is causing those skeletons to play the music.
oh.
Undead musical powers.
Gilbert looks at Poltroon and goes, "Don't do it." Like as if the jester would be very interested in sort of attaining musical knowledge
Gorm,
through
And
dark
Gorm,
means.
Gorm looks to Poltroon and goes, undead musical powers.
Oh,
so
At
Poltroon
guys.
is very torn right now. He seems like as soon as Gilbert says don't do it, his face kind of drops. But then when Gorm says do it, he kind of like, oh.
Orange is gonna lean forward on like his knees and just look at Poltroon and just Orange.
Ernst taking a stance.
At the mention of magic or musical undead powers, Scrum is gonna open up his shirt and look at the skull of Bob and just nod to it.
All right. Is there any like door or like otherwise way to sort of leave this space?
No, there is not.
We have
Okay.
we have a rope if you guys are stuck down here.
Yeah, we could
No, I
all
am.
leave.
Leaf. It's a tea joke.
You're funny.
Make like a tea and leaf. Orange makes this joke, but he just says Orange.
Well done. That's a knee
Think-
slapper.
Because Gorm is seeing the room spin. Gorm understands Orange at this moment.
Scrum, were you trying to do something? Trying to communicate here?
No, not really.
All right. Gilbert is going to sort of say, well, I definitely, we appreciate your transparency, and if you'd like to come with us, then I think that it's probably best that we thank you for your gifts and move on. But if you were trying to find the source of the goo, there is more goo to be had upstairs, unless you
I
wanted
know-
to
I know
continue
that
burrowing.
is there.
What?
I know that Zagu is there. I appreciate your invite, but now that I know that Lord Jessica, you said yes.
Dead.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, now that I know that he is dead, I can burrow in peace. So I thank you for what you have done for me.
Of course, we are happy to be of service. Enjoy your weird, creepy underground plant tea, and
Oh,
have
I
a good
shall.
trip. Have a good trip. And, I guess Gilbert is gonna go back out the tunnel number 10.
After you say have a good trip, the woman points towards Gorm and says he should be doing the same.
See you next fall.
All right, Gilbert's gonna go back up and try and climb that rope again.
Yeah. So yeah, you're able to do so without difficulty. You're able to climb up that rope and get back onto the side of safety from where your rope is hanging from the pump.
Seeing that we're kind of leaving this room, Gorm is going to drink the antidote tea. Just kind of takes a quick one and is just like, thank you for inviting us to your tea party. It's the only
Oh.
joy I've felt in the last 27 years.
Well, I'm very glad about that.
I have always wanted to have a tea party, but I've either had no friends or no tea. It's really been one or the other.
You know, it's really bad when you have tea, you don't have friends. When you have
Oh.
friends, you don't have tea. It's the
Oh.
worst.
The
just how it
constant
goes,
tug of,
you know?
tug of life. So this is coming from the bottom of my heart. Very grateful. Hope you don't die.
Orange would like to offer the different tea and see if maybe Orange the dog would prefer that tea.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, the Ernst the dog seems to very much like the antidote tea, but it wasn't really for the drug tea.
Oh, quick huzzah! We've got another donation in chat.
Yes.
Make sure you grab that.
I just saw.
I'm tracking these all in
Norj,
email, by the way.
Norj, I'm sorry if I don't know how to pronounce your Twitch handle.
I believe it's
but-
orange.
Orange.
That's great. Does that count for 2 entries for cicadas then?
Yeah. For every 15 you donate, that'll count as 2 entries. So
Awesome.
thank you so much for that $30 donation. That means a ton. And I'm writing you down here as well.
Oh wait, we can actually other side.
Is it this way?
What's happening? Oh, it's Violet. I'm beneath you.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
No, but I'm
think
by
we got it.
myself.
you're
Hang
not.
on.
We got this.
Wait, unless I do Ben. Wait,
Wait,
which direction?
Hold on.
wait,
no,
I'll
wrong
do the
direction.
bottom.
This way.
Hold on,
So,
wait.
would I be here? I think I'm here, maybe?
Oh, you're on the other side.
I need Twitch to
oh,
catch
this-
up so I can see myself.
Yeah, Oz, you're on the
I'm
other
trying to
side.
watch this on Twitch. It's very
Oh,
difficult.
Ben, I can't get in right
It's
now.
really hard.
Oh my
I've done
gosh.
it.
You
Oh,
could.
wait.
You both
Oh,
could
you
have
know
your
what?
opposite hand
You know what?
going.
I'm gonna do this.
There it is. We made it. We made it happen. Well done, you guys. We've reached peak. We have reached peak like quarantine Zoom shenanigans.
We tried so hard.
Right. There's only one thing that's even more peak quarantine Zoom shenanigans, and that's to.
Yes.
Oh, man.
All right, moving out into this tunnel.
So yeah, you guys go back into the room with the pump. Lovely
Okay.
room 7 over here.
Mhm.
Gilbert is gonna like wiggle the rope and be like, "Come on, guys. Would you like to try and tightrope over this hole in the floor?"
So Ernj is going to grab Ernj and sling him over his shoulder. And I should note that, well, can I just say that Ernj the dog doesn't like being carried and makes the biggest baby face ever, or should we roll for that? For
No, you have to
funsies?
demonstrate it. I think.
Yeah, give us your best dog baby face.
I could just get Pudding over here and pick her up. And I could show you. Pudding, come here. Come here.
This is
Come
exciting.
here.
We're getting a dog on stream, everyone.
This is how you double
Yeah,
your
okay.
viewers.
Yeah.
That's right. And she's struggling with me. Oh,
Just
she
as
whines.
Ernjwood.
Yes. Big
And
baby
we
time.
have baby hours.
There it
right
is.
here.
There it is.
The baby face.
I saw everything I needed. Yeah, Ernst the dog can have
The
big
real
baby now.
Ernst.
Baby hours. She doesn't trust me anymore. I'll give her butt scratches and I'll be forgiven.
Yes.
Okay, so Ernst the dog just has the biggest baby hours. As Ernst one-handed climbs up this rope like everyone who ever had to do rope climbing in PE wishes that they could.
Yeah, and because just saying that you fail and aren't able to climb the rope is really boring, I'm gonna say that you're able to take your time, you're in no immediate danger, and able to climb up the rope.
At the top, a very proud PE teacher. It's just.
Yeah. Gilbert, like hands on it, little fists on his hips, just like, well done. Well done.
I've done enough rock climbing to see people like use their face as leverage when they can't really reach
Oh,
something.
yeah.
So
I've
I
seen
just
that
imagine
too.
that Ernst does that.
I mean, it's not like he's tremendously worried about how his face looks.
Yeah, I mean, or also he has the jaw strength to chew through people.
It's true.
Mhm.
It's
It-
true.
He just
So-
clamps down on the rope. with
It's
his
like another.
nostrils.
It's like another set of hands.
Yeah,
Truly.
it really is.
And then after he gets to the top, he's gonna like just give Ernst the dog the biggest hug to apologize for lifting him up.
It's lonely at the top.
Yeah.
If you want
And
to
then slap Gilbert on the back again.
All right. Gilbert like stutters forward and goes, "Oh God." And then DM, is there a way that we could see Wait, hold on. Is everybody up out of the hole?
Scrum has eventually made his way up. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Is there a way that we can see that like we could eke across like this hole like by flattening ourselves to the wall and like shimmying over?
So the pitfall, the trap, is actually the length of the hallway. Here,
Okay.
because I'm not trying to cover it up anymore, I can delete my scribblings. So there you can actually see what was on the map. I desperately tried to cover that up.
Okay.
Also, to go back to what Alon said, teeth are really just the fingers of the mouth, if you think about it.
That's
Why
true.
would you
That's
say that?
important. That's important to know.
Would we be able to see anything like at the end of this tunnel?
So this hallway is well lit with torches, and at the end of the hall, you can see that there is a door.
Mhm.
And if you stand like over on this corner here, you can see that there's another door over here.
Okay.
I think upon seeing this door, Scrum's just gonna quickly kind of like map his like in his head map his way back
Mhm.
and just start heading back towards room 4 where that door was. This was a big iron door, right?
Yes.
So wait,
I'm just
you're
gonna start
going
walking.
down that trap door and going around?
Yeah, I'm going down the trap door through here, kind of mapping my.
Saying hi to the guy with one eye.
Yeah.
I say guy, it's a statue.
Yep.
I'm
And
glad
then
I gave that
eventually-
statue another eye.
Yeah, it's very important.
Mhm.
So we're all we're gonna backtrack now.
Wait, did we ever
Scrub is.
did
If
we
you guys
get
wanna
into
come, you
this
can.
room 9? Is there a wall here? What's going on? With
I
9?
I got in here.
Room 9 is where the dog that attacked Ernst was.
Right. Is there gems in that wall? Is that what I'm remembering?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Was there anything else going on? Mirrors?
The skeletons.
Nope. Yeah, the skeleton's on the pillar, and the light from the pillar was bouncing off of the gems on the wall.
Okay.
Mm,
Do we want to take those gems?
let's filter back through.
Right.
Gilbert will go ahead and follow Scrum and Bob in Scrum and Bob's radical journey and follow him back out to 12. And while Gilbert is in room 12, like right here, is there a way does the empty eyes at all look gem-like in this sculpture? Didn't he have empty eyes?
Not empty anymore.
Well,
Not
yeah.
empty anymore.
Now there's a human
Yeah,
eye in that
Human
socket.
eyes in there. Mhm. If
Um,
the human eye was removed, would it look gemmy?
So it is an empty socket, and as I described before, there are blood stains around the socket.
Mhm.
It looks about like, and it's proportional to the statue, but it looks like it would be the eye the size that an eye would be on that statue. But
Mhm.
yeah, you could probably jam a gem in there.
Okay.
Why, when he has a lovingly provided eye?
He does have a lovingly provided eye. I would never redo your handiwork. It's truly such a commentary on these times that we're in.
I call it sight before sight. Or after sight, I guess. Foresight.
As Ernst is following them around into room 12 through 15 and 14, he's looking around for anything to catch his eye. Does he notice anything that's worth closer attention? Can I roll for that?
Certainly. In rooms 15 and 14, you said?
Yeah.
So give me a roll for rooms 15 and then a roll for room 14.
All right. 15 will be a 14.
And,
Okay.
And 14's a 15?
And 14 is a 20.
Okay.
Let me just do one of these. I don't know how well this is gonna work. Well, look, hey,
Nice,
anyway.
nice.
We'll
It's
take your
nat
word
20
for
of the
it.
day.
Yay!
All right. So in room 15, of which you rolled a 14, so now that you can actually take a look through it and everything, of course, it opens up into just this cavern of this sludge. But there are all sorts of implements for cooking and butchering meat and all sorts of stuff. You find large meat cleavers, meat hooks, all sorts of things like that. Pots, pans of rusty iron, a couple of clay pots.
Is there any seasonings?
Nothing extraordinary. Mostly like salts and like paprika.
Yeah, I'd probably take some more pocket pepper.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
How about some things that could be used for rations?
Well, there are those human corpses hanging by hooks from the ceiling.
And any of them like dried into a nice jerky that's gonna like last for a while?
There's no human jerky.
But there is a human in there who was a jerk. I don't know if that.
That's room 14.
Yeah, he died in room 14. So no, nothing really particularly used for rations. Actually, there is a pot of human meat stew going on the stove that's still been burning hot since the death of Lord Jessica.
I'm gonna be helpful and turn off that stove, but that
Yeah.
seems like it's probably not something that I would enjoy or Ernst would enjoy. So
Kind of want to run the gas bill up on this guy.
Yeah, got to be conscientious.
well, yeah, I mean, but you don't want that bill to redistribute
Right.
onto the nice lady in room 11. Like,
Right.
we all know how these apartment situations work.
Yeah,
so,
she's already got enough greenhouse gases.
yeah.
True.
3 tea drinking men.
You know, she's really doing the Lord's work.
Mhm.
I am gonna pick up a little piece of meat and hand it to Ernst, the rat on my shoulder.
Yeah, he happily consumes.
Yeah, not cannibalism when you're a rat.
Exactly.
That's
True.
correct.
Are the
You don't
are
want
the-
to know all the rat facts about that.
Are the skeletons still playing music?
Yes, they are. It is a
Okay.
little bit more somber now.
Okay.
If there was ever a stream where rat facts would be on brand,
Rat facts. Yeah.
My dad still has my rat book, so
No rat facts.
I can't quote you some actual good rat facts. I'll have to get it from him.
All right. Well, hey, this is a good cliffhanger for people to come back to the next stream.
Yes.
1 week
Come,
from
come
now.
to next stream. We'll have
As
rat
if you'll
facts.
find it and mail it to me by next stream.
Well, we can assemble some rat facts.
Essential rat facts for the Rat Pack.
I remember some very specifically from this book, but they're pretty graphic. So
Fat rack
Right.
facts for
Well-
the rack pack.
some racks.
We'll have to do a different TW disclaimer for that one. So I don't think Gorm is interested in anything in 15 or 14, but I think Gorm's going to check out the statue now that he's cut a man's eyeball out and replaced it into the statue, and they've kind of
Yeah.
become, it feels like friends.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Real quick, let me just describe
sorry.
room 14 for Ernst
Right, the 20.
with that immaculate roll.
Yeah.
So this room is just full of garbage. As I said before, the most notable thing in here, of course, is the corpse of Lord Jessica. I hate that I'm calling him that, but it's really good.
It's his name.
It's his name. You're right.
But I hope he wears a pink tutu.
It was either that or we call him Cannaboy, you know?
Lord Jessica is honestly just chef's kiss.
Beautiful.
And so like you look over what he has on him, and he has an oddly shaped key around his neck that you're able to take off of him. He of course has the flail that he used, and he has a letter in his pocket.
Man, we really should have looted the corpse.
We really should have. We really didn't.
God, Gorm.
So Ernst, I don't know if Ernst can read.
It says in your class description that you cannot read.
Right. So I'm gonna look at the letter and then I'm gonna crumble it up into a ball and stuff it in my pocket. I'm gonna take the key and put it around my neck. And what was the other thing that he had?
His flail.
His flail. I would actually love to take the flail because I used up my bomb. I don't have that anymore.
As we hear Pudding screaming.
No, that's Ernst the dog.
Yeah.
That's
But you-
for true True immersion.
Yeah.
You said that Ernst the
Barking at the
dog is the
corpse.
size of my dog Oakley. Pudding weighs 1/5 as much as my dog.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean Ernst the dog doesn't have a high-pitched voice. Don't you
I
dare
think-
make fun of Ernst's voice.
That's right. Urge has a squeaky voice.
Or just self-conscious.
And yeah, so you pick up the flail, and here I'll give you the stats for it. So it is the red hot flail.
Whoa.
It does D8 of damage, and
Too
if
hot.
hot damn,
Yeah.
call the police and the fireman. And if it does damage past someone's armor, then they get -2 penalty on agility tests for a day.
And then Kim, I want you to know that in chat, someone said that you've provided awesome immerging.
I'm so glad.
Immersion.
Is this like, oh, good.
Yeah.
You know, as a language arts teacher, that's what I strive to do.
Beautiful.
And so
Shout out my reading teacher, who I partner with, is listening while selling face masks.
Oh, heck yeah.
I love you, Miss
So-
Lisler.
That's so
before we
good.
delve farther into this dungeon, it is an hour and a half in. So we're going to touch base on some things and then go on break for 10 quick minutes. So thank you to everyone who has donated so far. I was notified on Twitter that Nia, who had to stop tuning in because their internet was being wonky, but they donated $20. So I have that. I also fixed something on the Disease Save Twitter so I can receive DMs from anyone. I forgot to do that upon opening the account. If you want to donate and be entered into the raffles that we have going on right now, it's a $15 entry to be raffled for a Royal Copenhagen porcelain cicada. There are 5 up for grabs, or a $50 donation to go in the running for a jar of lard that will be signed
Whoa.
by all of us.
Yeah, not a jar of lard, the jar of
The
lard.
The jar of
Jar
lard.
of lard.
Yeah.
That's right.
This is-
So donations can be made here on the Twitch stream, and we'll write your name down. We'll give you a shout out and everything. Or you can go to the donation pages of Printing the Curve Flat or Feed More Bank, and then send a screenshot to the Save Against Disease Twitter page at Disease Save. We are halfway through this second session, and the donations we've received are fantastic.
Yeah,
But
I'm
we're gonna
so
go on
happy.
it's so good. We're gonna go on a quick 10-minute break. So we will be back at 5:42. The stream will be kept running. We'll just have our cameras off.
brief sabbatical.
We'll be back in a moment.
Everyone go grab a tube of lard.
Grab your favorite tube of lard.
So mad I left our jar of lard in Tampa.
It will be back on stream next week.
Yes.
Worry not. All right, and we'll be right back.
I'm like not talking because I feel in the back of my mind I'm muted just as a person. Hey everybody. Hope the stream's going well. I know everybody's going to be joining us in just a little bit. Thank you guys so much for the donations and for watching. Super grateful. It's been super fun.
It's been fantastic.
Yeah. We've got Zarko's come to say hi to everyone. I can show Zarko cat. She's trying to get into my dice box. That's my dice box right there.
Amazing.
She's staring pretty intently at it. Hey, Zark. These are the things she does when she doesn't think anyone's around except me. Zark stretch. Here's my audio board. This is what messed me up last time. I couldn't figure it out. I've had to figure it out in between streams. Be down here.
Hello.
Hello.
Petting the Zark.
Down petting some cats.
Mm-hmm.
I dropped a D20 while we were. There it is. I think I'm threading the situation together. I think the problem is that we aren't taking advantage of all of the things that our DM is giving us as things go.
Yeah, well.
That's the game.
Really should have looted that corpse.
We should have looted that corpse. I think we were all just so screw this guy.
Yep, that's exactly.
We didn't wanna mess with it.
Exactly what happened.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you guys, I should do a quick PSA. This is the Growling Goblins studio stream. It's for Goblins and Growlers, the Richmond, Virginia local inclusive tabletop role-playing group. We do a lot of, especially nowadays, we're doing a lot of digital paneling, but usually we go to conventions and we run indie RPGs or our own RPGs, and we do paneling. And then I do some fundraisers with a group called Celebra D&D, where I play with voice actors and actresses, and we raise money for charities. And then I've got one here in Richmond called, which I'm really sad because we had something scheduled I hadn't even announced yet, but of course it got canceled. But called Dungeons and Drag Queens, where we do some really awesome live performances with local drag queens for fundraisers. Yeah, so hopefully we get all that back up. But yeah, that's the stream you're on. We have lots of people who are professional DMs who come on here and either do tabletop stuff or actual play. Is that what it's called? Let's Play, the video game Let's Play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's you'll see if you follow the stream, you'll see those notifications. If you want to check them out, awesome. If you don't, that's okay. Saturdays at 4 is the most important. And I say that even with my own regular show. So.
And I've done a piece of art for an eventual dungeon module run by Goblins and Growlers.
Heck yeah. I'm so excited about that one.
I can't wait to see the finished thing.
I know. Well, I have all my notes together. I was actually going to put it all together for Dragon Con this year. I'll probably still try to keep that as a deadline. Just get that all put together. We'll have it up on I can get it to our art team at the very least, and then have your art and then one of their art pieces and create a module.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, thank you guys so much. And we've got just Scrum to go. I know that Zarko's patrolling here. We're all super grateful. This second stream, I think we've easily crossed the $100 donation.
We have.
Yeah.
That's so
really
cool.
Awesome.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. So.
So, and I just want to, my family isn't watching or anything, but as I was, if you guys noticed me looking down while we were streaming, I'm getting texts from my mom, who's an engineer, and I don't know if it's going to white out the screen. Probably.
Yeah, we can't see anything.
I'll send it to Oz. So that, well, no, he can't post it.
He can post it on the Twitter.
he cannot because it's a thing that she's doing for her job. So we can't post pictures, but my mom's an engineer, and I just want to share this really cool thing she's doing. She's making designing a COVID-19 stretcher patient cover that she's not only designed the actual cover, but the tools to make the cover, like to actually manufacture the cover. And it's this like really cool, essentially tent that goes over the patient when they have to be in the ambulance or something, so that if they cough or the particles when they breathe don't get on the first responders or don't get on the nurses and doctors who might not have the proper PPE. So rather than having these masks that are constantly disposed of, there's this actual cover that goes over the patient that she was sharing with me.
So
while
awesome.
we were
That is really cool.
My mom's like a hero. Anyway.
That's awesome.
A week before Mother's Day. So.
Oh my gosh. What a time
Incredible.
to be reminded that I really need to get my
Yeah, I
Mother's
know.
Day act in gear.
Like, oh, oop.
If you were watching this stream for Mother's Day reminders, we got you.
We're on top of it. Listen.
Someone's gonna watch this in like 2 weeks
Oh
and
no.
like watch the VOD and be really messed up.
Yeah.
not to call out the US education system, but my mom for sure was told that she was a high school dropout when she sent her German transcripts in.
Incredible.
For credit, yeah.
Oh man.
For engineering. Yeah.
Oh man. All right.
Anyway. I just thought
we-
that was a cool thing I would share since it's
That is cool.
related.
That is
yeah.
super, super cool.
So jumping back in from our break, for those of you just joining us or who have a very short memory, this is Save Against Disease, a Mörk live play campaign. We are raising money for Feed More Food Bank and Printing the Curve Flat, two incredible charities.
Oh yeah, I'll drop their link in the comments so you can go straight to their link pages if you desire.
We are raffling off Royal Copenhagen porcelain cicadas made by our very own Kim. The entry for those to get into the raffle is a $15 donation. And for our big prize of this campaign is the jar of lard that we do not have with us because Kim and I are in Orlando instead of Tampa right now. But for $50, your name can be entered into the jar of lard giveaway. And it'll be signed by all of us with a cool logo on there. And without further ado, let's get back into the game. So, Ernst, you just looted the body of Lord Jessica. Found some goodies there. And Gorm, I believe you were going to search around the statue room, correct?
Yeah. I'm glad you remembered that. Am I
So,
rolling a
yeah.
presence?
Yes, give me a solid presence check.
17. It's pretty solid.
17, so you're looking around the room, and you're like readjusting the eye in the socket of the one-eyed statue. And as you adjust the eye, you kind of notice, since you put the eye in, the statue seems like it's a little bit happier. Only Gorm really notices this. And then you look at where the gaze of the statue falls, and you go over to the wall opposite the statue. And you're looking around in it on the wall, just kind of seeing what you can find. And you notice that outline about goes 6 feet up from the ground, rectangular outline.
A bookcase was once here. Maybe it left its thoughts imprinted on the rock.
Gilbert kind of hears this happen and goes, a bookcase? And goes up and can he see like the outline?
Yeah, so now that you're closer and you see Gorm pressed up against this wall, you can see like this outline goes up.
It was from IKEA. He licks the stone. It was called Gorbewov.
It must have taken hours to assemble it. So noticing this, would Gilbert be able to like investigate and sort of see like if it were actually books, or if like there was anything
Yeah,
that would sort
certainly.
of tip it off? Like, does it look like a depression or does it just look like an etching?
So the wall itself is flat, but it looks like, to not be subtle, it looks like a door.
Okay.
As Ernj walks in from room 14, he's going to sort of feeling the wadded paper in his pocket. He's going to look between Gorm, the cleanest person that he knows, and Gilbert, the fanciest person that he knows, just very unsure of who to give this paper with these squiggles.
In that moment, he sees
Yeah.
Gorm licking the wall, the stone wall, and just being like,
Okay, but listen, being that beautifully clean, you can be weird. Okay. Ernj has seen weird people who were very smart and very educated and could read the squiggles. So like being weird means nothing. So he's just looking between like the cleanest person he knows and
Right.
the fanciest person he knows. And
Gilbert
just,
is
like,
also like just fingering the wall, like trying to like press on it and like throw his body against it a little bit, and
so
is
you're
definitely
both
also
acting
interacting
weird,
Yeah.
you know?
like a slapstick manner.
I feel like this is an extension of exactly, you were like, not to put a torch to the American education system, but look at how weird these two people are.
Yeah. You know?
So as Gorm is licking this wall and Gilbert is trying to stick his fingers in it, actually both of you, I don't know, roll a d6.
Roll a lick check.
Yeah,
Roll, roll a lick, a licking
Roll a
and
lick,
fingering
roll
check.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it rolled into the tray. It like bounced all the way. What are we checking?
just a d6.
A 5.
Okay, so Gorm, you rolled higher. As your tongue is going up and down this wall, eventually your tongue, kind of up on the upper edge of this door frame, or secret door to lose all senses of subtlety, your tongue kind of lands on a weird little indent in the stone. It's not like any of the other natural indents or something. It seems like it was carved.
I found the secret book place. Yeah,
Oh,
I pressed
found
my
what?
tongue, the strongest muscle in my body.
Gilbert is gonna like stand on his tippy toes because Gorm is much taller than him, and like sort of look up at what he's indicating with his tongue. What do we see?
So it seems like a oddly shaped keyhole.
Ooh.
My tongue can't open it. I tried.
You're trying real hard, bud.
Admirable of you. Gilbert is gonna turn around and say, did we find a key anywhere? It looks like we could probably get through this. It might be a door of some kind. And is gonna like walk back towards the trash room.
Love is the key.
Ernj is gonna walk further into room 12, and pull the wadded paper out of his pocket and just be like, I couldn't. You're fancy and you're clean, and maybe if you put your ideas together, you can read this. I don't understand it. I never learned to read. And of course, he expresses all of this with just a very distraught urge.
What was that urge? Did you say the American public education system failed you?
Is our system trying, but on the backbone of teachers that are overworked and underpaid?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, I mean, Ernst said it. We're just,
we're agreeing.
right.
And he just holds the wadded paper out to you.
Gilbert will
Orange.
take it. Gilbert will take it and like smooth it out against his chest, like give it a couple of those like little flattening rubs, and like flip it over and hold it out so that everybody can kind of read.
So
Scrum, do you wanna come read this? And we'll like hold it out and read aloud to everyone around.
You want to read to the class?
I would like to read to the class. DM, what does Gilbert read?
So the letter itself is in a language that you do not know. The alphabet is like odd runic scribblings, but at the bottom of the letter, in just very beautifully written script, you can see that it says Count Raven, like signature.
Ooh. Count Ravon.
Count Raywin.
Raywin.
Orange nods. Orange.
Orange indeed. Would Gilbert recognize this writing from anywhere else in the building that he's been in so far?
So this hasn't shown up anywhere here in this dungeon.
Okay.
And it's not like anything that you've seen in your travels or in your correspondences or anything like that.
Right. Well, I was hoping to give an illustrious reading to the class, but it doesn't look like I have the ability to.
Do you do like you scan through it and you're like, Count Raywin.
Trying to like sound out like the vowels like and then Count Riven at the bottom.
Me with my limited German trying to read things off of a Danish menu.
Exactly, like trying to read like a foreign like manuscript and like sound it out. Well, I don't know, but do you think that the guy that we killed was this Count?
No, we already know his name.
That's true.
He was a lad.
He was Lad
Mhm.
Lad Jessica.
Orange.
Which means, as a lad, he served under the Count.
That's true. All right. Well, maybe there would be more clues back in the kitchen that he was operating in. Are there any? If Gilbert goes back to 14, are there any books in there?
No, it's mostly like food scraps and bones and kitchen scrap.
I guess Grum is just, he tries one more desperate time to use his tongue as a key, as he has many times before.
Orange looks up at Scrum, seeing him do this for the first time. Gorm, I'm sorry.
You were looking up at
Not
Scrum,
Scrum.
who was looking up at Gorm, and you followed his eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though Orange is probably taller.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Orange looks at Gorm and just sees what he's doing. And he's just so confused why he's licking a hole in the wall. And he kind of absent-mindedly puts his hand around the pendant that he just pulled off of the dead Lord Jessica, because the cord hanging around his neck is such an awkward feeling, and he just looks at him stroking and fiddling with this oddly shaped pendant. Orange.
No, I can't seem to get it. It's frustrating. I've used it, given doors a tongue lashing many times. They always open for me. But this one seems particular, maybe because it was an IKEA original.
Can Gilbert see the pendant around Orange's neck?
Yes, there are two dots that are very easy to connect here.
Okay. I'm gonna reach out and say, Orange, would you mind?
IKEA, durability.
IKEA. Orange, would you mind? And reach out for the pendant.
Orange is going to agree, despite the fact that he really loves this necklace and he wants it back.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that he shows this is he pats you on the head and says, "Ernch," and then he takes it off and hands it to you.
Okay. Gilbert will take it and sort of gently like wipe it on his shirt a little bit and then go and unlock it because he knows it's about to touch a whole lot of saliva. Like it's gonna touch a lot of spit.
Yeah, as you put the key in the keyhole, it just kind of oozes slobber out of
Yeah.
it.
I got it. It's a little bit of a like.
That's the sound that the key makes
Right.
when going into the keyhole.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Also, before
Like a
opening up
squish
this
sound.
door, I found this like really old paintbrush on my desk, and right underneath what my webcam can see, I've been like conducting what I say, and I'm so glad that it's out of frame because I've been doing this for like the past 2 hours. So you are able to open up this door, and I'm going to, if this will work with me, just gonna.
At this very moment, not to ruin the mood, I'm watching a poodle lick a glass door and paw at it.
I understand. That's not rooting. That's
Big Gorm energy.
Yeah.
Big Gorm energy. Gorm's just a poodle.
Mhm.
Gorm super clean, white, fluffy, just a poodle. The
Beautiful.
dots are
True.
connecting. IKEA durability. Gorm poodle.
So I scribbled over the thing on the wall that says secret door. So this door, large stone door, opens inward slowly, and inside this room, there's just a small bench. There's a bookshelf, and sitting on there are a couple of bowls on the floor, and sitting on the bench is a young human. He's a little bit pudgy, and he's gnawing on some meat on a bone, and with a mouthful, he kind of looks up at you, just
Who's walking into the room first?
Orange.
Oh, great.
Ernst, go on. Ernst, on your way in, Gilbert is gonna stop you and like wipe the key on his pants, and like blow on it a little bit and hand it back to you.
I'm gonna put it around my neck and give you another thump on the back.
Ugh.
And Ernch. And then go in, followed by Ernch, the dog.
and this child like is curious. Who are you?
And I'm gonna walk up to this child and just put a hand on his shoulder and let him know that we're here to rescue him and he's safe now, by saying through my mouth of horribly twisted, disgusting, sharp, jagged teeth, Ernch.
And yeah, Gorm nods.
Gilbert will walk in and say, hello, young lad. What is your name?
Alden.
Alden! It's wonderful to meet you. Hello, my name's Gilbert. These are my merry band of misfits, and we're here to rescue you. How long have you been here, and what did you get the meat from? Is the meat going to make you trip balls?
Do you like? You can visibly see him swallow. Just, I've been here 2 weeks, maybe. I don't know.
Do you feel relatively safe? You don't look pressed.
Well, I mean, I've had food. I've had water. It's been okay.
Who is keeping you?
Big guy tattoos.
Oh, right.
Lord.
About that. And Gilbert's gonna like turn away a little bit and look at the crew and be like, ooh.
It's okay. He's dead.
The boy kind of
Ernch.
nods and says, "That's a shame.
Yep.
He was a good cook," and takes another bite out of the meat flank that he's chewing on.
You guys, this small boy is cannibalizing this boy.
Orange is just gonna take the meat from his hand and be like, "That's people," but he says "Orange" and just pulls the meat away.
Oh, I guess I have eaten quite a lot of that, haven't I?
We have lard, if you'd like some lard.
So much lard.
Does Ern just hold out the jar of lard?
The sack of lard, excuse
right.
me. It's a
God.
leather sack.
So
Yeah.
much
Leather.
worse.
Yeah.
The
Like-
applesauce squeezy tube.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
I've got the lard in a water skin. Then I can just.
That's so
Squirt
much
it.
worse.
Yeah.
Okay. The lard is like oozing out of the seams of this water skin.
Mhm.
Yes.
The boy's just like, I'm good. I'm good.
Arch.
I really am good.
Arch.
And he kind of looks past Ernj and says, "Is what? Well, what is this?" And
Well-
points at Ernj.
So you were kidnapped,
I guess so.
and you've been in this room for 2 weeks,
I think so.
eating human flesh
What?
cooked by Lord Jessica.
No,
Next to the drug dealers
he said this was
and their
work.
tea party, listening to the soothing sounds of skeleton masquerade. The duo.
Their music has been pretty good.
seems like a
I'm-
good
I'm-
retreat.
I'm eating human?
I'm so sorry, boy. We're so very sorry to burst your bubble on that.
Are we?
And he kind of like clutches the side of his head and said, "But it tasted so good."
Yeah, once you get a taste for the flesh, they say you can never go back, but I'm sure it'll be fine.
Was it a little sweet with a side of brain damage?
Oh,
Ernst says with a very intense Ernst.
I love orange. Well, it doesn't seem like you've been really pressed to get out of here. We were hired by a woman of the church. Were you interested in going back to the church at all?
I mean, the guy who's been feeding me is dead, so I guess
Were you happy there?
I could do without.
Were you happier here?
He shrugs.
Apathy is a good way to deal with being in a difficult situation.
He pats the like bench that he's sitting on and says, "Sleeping arrangements are about the same. I guess I don't have as much homework here.
You're in school.
I've studied with the church to continue the legends of the two-headed basilisk. Yes."
Understandable. Well, we can take you back there as we get out of here ourselves, or we can lose you on the way home, or we can help you sneak out once you get home. But either way, I'm not in the interest of putting anyone back in indentured servitude if they're not interested in it.
And the
We
kid
could
kind of shrugs. And he's,
Also,
I've got nowhere better to go. I might as well go back to the church.
I'm not in the business of dying anytime soon. So I think we should bring the kid
That's true.
back.
That's true. See, I was
Right.
just, relying on dumb luck to not get killed at this point is second nature. So, completely valid. All right. Well, what do you say, kid? You want to get out of here?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I guess Gilbert's gonna stand up and sort of leave the room back into the skeleton area.
Yeah. He gets up. He like, kind of brushes off some grizzle of human meat that's fallen onto his robes.
just notice the IKEA label on this map. That's some pretty.
That's what's up.
That's that's real good.
Sponsor us.
Hashtag spawn.
I will promote you regardless, so you don't have
Oh.
to do that in any
Next
way. but-
next time we can go into an IKEA and there's gonna be a bookshelf called Mörk Borg.
Mörk Borg.
How did I not see that until now? I'm upset.
Save against disease. Only save is spelled S-A-umlaut-V.
Sip.
Ziv.
It.
So
Mark Borg.
so we have kid in tow.
We have kid now.
Who
And I
entrusted us
noticed-
with a kid?
I noticed a comment in chat. Someone is picturing us all as mice with accessories.
Oh,
That
And-
slaps.
Follow your heart, man. Inverloch.
oh, that's
please.
Inver, one of our DMs. She's the greatest.
Nice,
And-
That's the
perfect.
best.
Follow your heart. We are absolutely mice with accessories.
And who knows? Maybe for the next campaign, I can get over my hatred of the burning wheel, and we can play mouse guard.
I
And then we
love
can actually be mice.
I
in
love Burning
accessories.
Wheel so much. This makes sense that you and I are diametrically opposed on this one.
As my dogs go crazy at something at the front door.
Mm-hmm.
It's that emergent.
There you go.
Emergent.
Urgent. Yeah.
Urgent.
Urgent.
Also, Inver, no, the prize lard is not in a leather sack. It is in a mason jar.
It is
Yeah.
a jar.
It'd be much harder to ship in a leather sack. I don't know.
Stamp an address on it.
Squish.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Beautiful.
All right, DM.
Well, on the bright side, if we FedEx it, then when they drop kick it onto your doorstep, it's less likely to
Yeah.
break.
When UPS volleyball serves it into your door.
It'll stick.
Yeah.
When DHL ties it to a rope and just throws it out of the back of their truck and says you got to chase after it.
Yeah. Lasso.
It's classic.
Guys, what I'm saying is, in this time, support the U.S. Postal Service.
That's
Yes.
right.
Please. All right. We have boy in tow. We're trying to leave this room.
Yes. Yeah, you guys leave the room. It doesn't take too much trying.
Okay. And then I guess try and walk back out of this this hellscape of a dungeon.
Yeah, so you guys just kind of leaving, going straight down, like, through room 12 and room 8, all that stuff.
Okay.
Is that what you guys are doing? Or are you guys taking the scenic route of going back through 14, 15 through the secret door?
I'd rather not walk this boy
Yeah.
buy a bunch of cooked or pre-cooked flesh. I mean, we could be here for
And he
hours while he
just
eats
ate.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
This is way.
All right, so yeah, you guys head down through room 12 into room 8 with, the bloody footsteps that kind of lead nowhere and the meat hooks hanging from the ceiling. You go back up the stairs.
Oh yeah,
and-
there's also a guard on one of those meat hooks that's missing an eye.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I forgot about that. The boy just
Yeah.
kind of stops in his tracks and stares at this body hanging from a hook from the ceiling, dripping blood.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to say that Ernst the dog might, he's already eaten a little of this, so he'll probably lick some of the blood off the feet. As dogs do.
Yeah,
The foot bleps.
and the boy looking up in horror at this singular corpse hanging from a meat hook just says, "Oh, you killed them too?"
No, he got in a fight with his fellow guard over, I believe it was some type of relationship issue, and they killed each other, and then he got hung up here. Don't worry, what I'm trying to say is he doesn't taste good. Let's move on.
Then before the boy follows you, says, "It's a shame. They were nice." Kind of walks past the guard on the hook and follows up the stairs.
Oh. Gilbert is gonna say, well, in order to get in here, we had to break a couple of eggs. So
I'm
sorry for your
did you
loss.
say legs?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
I just saw someone in chat mention that it's easier to get a straw down a mason jar, and absolutely agree.
Yes.
Why are you like this? Why are you all like this?
Just saying, you have the opportunity to win the jar of lard, so you can stick a straw into it by donating $50 to either of these charities.
Or win a jar of lard to keep people from putting a straw in it.
Sit near some plants and pretend that you are at your favorite craft brewery
Oh yeah.
during these trying.
Did we break Oz?
I was just like, I gotta go.
Seems to be doing fine. This is as usual when we
okay.
hang out.
Yeah, Alana and I have shared many a jar of lard.
Gosh dang.
We go to our favorite beer garden in Richmond. We don't
Yeah.
order anything, but we just sit out on a stoop with a jar of lard.
Yeah.
You just pour a little
out with the
of
lard.
like whatever is available to you into the lard,
Yeah,
and
you
it's
mix it
like
together.
it's like the bar snacks
Yeah.
and the beer combined. It's what
Hol-
your stomach would taste,
Holiday matzo.
but your
we did
tongue
the,
is tasting it.
yeah, we did the lard with Dickles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can't forget the Dickle.
Good combo.
Oh yeah.
That's a story I'll tell off stream.
Yeah, sounds right.
Sponsored by George Dickel Tabasco whiskey.
Not sponsored.
It's-
Hashtag
it's-
not
That's
sponsored.
fun.
It's not good. Pedro,
not
thanks
bad,
so much
though.
for the $15 donation.
Pedro really wants a cicada.
Heck yeah. Thank you. So we're walking down. We walk through the
So, yeah.
guards.
So you guys walk into the other guard room. We are nothing but laser focused on this game.
Right.
And the boy sees the other corpse of the guard and is just like, okay.
Gorm grabs him and turns the head towards the boy and is like, "Don't worry, I'm fine. I'm just taking a nap." And just sets him down to the side. Just taking a nap.
The boy throws up.
Gilbert will like gently pat his back and be like, "It's okay. We're going to get you home."
Gorm holds out his lard sack.
And the boy, like, his eyes are watering, and he's just like,
Oh, no.
Oh.
It's important to rehydrate.
Yeah,
Oh,
mark on
no.
your sheet. Mark on your sheet that you've lost 1 day of lard ration.
Oh, I'm way ahead of you.
oh, dear Lord.
Okay.
Dear lard, excuse
Yeah.
you.
Dear Lord, if we are stepping out of this situation, then where would we be? Would we be heading, DM? What are we seeing when we leave this building with the boy?
So the sun is close to setting from your time here, and you exit the crypt entrance that led into this establishment. You are in the clearing, surrounded by rotting old dead trees here far into the Valley of the Unfortunate Undead. And potentially with the help of Ernja's navigation, you'll be able to find your way back to Galgenbeck. You know that it was about a day's travel.
I would like to lift the boy onto Ernst, the mule, so he can have a ride back.
I thought
Okay.
you were just gonna do some reps.
That's in the mornings is when I do my
Right.
workouts.
Right.
An
No
important
lifting.
note, in Mörkburg, any morning is by default spelled with a U.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Correct. Correct, if you will. If we are also spelling that with a U.
We're setting a dangerous precedent here.
It's true.
All O's have umlauts, and anything else has a U after it.
I was gonna say morning with it umlaut would be morning, so
So anyway, you guys continue on. So it's not long before night falls upon you. Do you want to continue traveling through the night, or do you want to take rest?
We should rest with watches, the way that we did before.
I
All right.
agree.
So what is everyone's watch order?
We want to roll for it?
If you guys want to, If you want to.
Yeah, how about highest numbers get first, earliest watches?
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Ernst got a 16.
Got a natural 2.
17.
6. So, watch order was Scrum,
Ernst.
Gorm, and then
Gilbert.
I was gonna say I think Gilbert gets the night off, right? Is it 3 watches?
You could do 4 if you
You
want
could
to
do
split
4.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shorter watches, more sleep.
Right.
So yeah, could everyone make a presence check
Sure.
as your keep and watch tonight? What are these thick numbers looking like?
This is the one. Did we get the one?
The one.
There it is.
No.
There it is. You've done the full balance.
I sure did.
It's good news.
The 20 was every millennial before the pandemic, and the 1 is every millennial now.
After it. Scrum, what did you have?
3.
3.
16.
I got a 15.
All right. So, Scrum, you don't see anything on your watch. And you go and you wake up Ernst for his watch and you go and fall asleep shortly after.
While I'm resting, can I do a medicine check or something to unpoison myself?
Yeah.
Cool. So what actual check is that?
So that'll be a presence check for
Okay.
just treating yourself with the poison. It's a difficult DC at 16.
Fuck. 15.
So close.
15.
You're not able to medicine the poison out of you, but come morning you'll
I'm,
be able to
I'm
make
sucking my leg.
Mm.
I think Gorm probably forgot that you got bit by that dog, and it's just like, even though I think Gorm sucked the leg right when you got bit.
You did.
That's true.
So anyway, back to the watches. So Ernst, you're woken up for your watch, and everyone else, you enjoy a night's sleep, because Ernst falls back asleep and forgets to wake anyone else up. So you are able to get a full night's rest. For those of you that can regain health, you regain a D6 of health. Scrum, unfortunately, that is not you. But throughout the night, those of you that are sleeping, you have these vivid nightmares of your camp, and there are creatures just circling around it, creatures that are just skin and bone, hunched over, and as they get closer to you in this dream, they look at you and very Pan's Labyrinth-esque, they hold up their own eyes and look at you up and down before scurrying back off into the darkness.
Okay, is that our misery die?
No, that's just fun stuff that's happening in the
That's
night.
just what happened. Okay, and
What we're dreaming about.
Gilbert sort of wakes up and with a start and like looks around.
So real quick, Ariel, ready for the misery die?
Yeah.
Let's see. It is not a 1.
Oh.
It is a 6.
Nice. Okay.
Also, God Gizzard in chat brings up a good point. We've been forgetting about the omens. Most of you have omens that you can use, which let me find here in the book, just to describe exactly what they do for y'all.
Max damage.
Yep.
Was one of them.
Max damage, re-roll a die, lower damage dealt to you by a d6, neutralize a crit or a fumble, or lower one test difficulty rating by 4.
Mhm.
So we'll keep that in mind as we come into the morning. And Scrum, make your toughness check. And so normally that would be a difficulty rating of 17 to will out the poison. But of course, you can burn your omen for the day
Wait.
if you have an omen.
Oh.
Scrum is gonna flex this poison out.
$16.
So, do you have omens?
Wait.
I do have an omen. I will use my omen to lower the DC.
Perfect. So you are able to
Can
just flex
we do that after rolls for
It
future
doesn't
reference?
say explicitly, but I'm just gonna say for right now, yeah. If we come to a decision later on that
Okay.
says that if you choose to use that, but with all the other ones, it makes sense that you can do it after the roll, like lowering damage by a d6 or neutralizing a crit or a fumble.
Right, that's fair.
It is
Okay.
that flexibility to let you continue telling the story.
Right, and I think that
Yeah. I
that
would
flexibility
think.
is important for when you're using your muscles to push out poison.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
Really just flexing like your whole body. Like
I like to picture Scrum looks a little like he might be trying to poop.
Yes,
I thought
that's
you.
exactly it.
I thought you were gonna stop at. I like to picture Scrum.
I too like to picture Scrum.
No, I like to picture Gorm because I wish my skin were that clear.
I mean,
true.
this is when we need. There's gotta be somebody in beauty products out there that wants to sponsor this stream. And Gorm.
Sephora.
Yeah. So, you're.
Did I hear Scrumfora?
I think Scrum is about to give us the noise Scrum makes as Scrum flexes the poison out.
Zagorma, excuse me.
I'm gonna move my mic away from my mouth.
The coughing all the while. That tracks. That tracks.
I'm sending that as my text tone for you, Ben. We're gonna come back in the VODs and just record that. So yeah, you will out this poison. So when you rest, you'll be able to recover health, and you won't take damage for the day. As you guys wake up, start to get yourselves ready.
I
And as
low-key
you're
spit
heading-
all over myself.
Perfect, beautiful.
Beautiful.
So as you're heading east, you notice though that the air is a little bit like smoky. If you look around your surroundings, you can see just plumes of smoke rising from the west. Seems like it is far off in the distance, but that is in the opposite direction that you guys are traveling.
What direction is the smoke coming from?
The west.
Okay.
And we're traveling east.
Yep.
All right.
Orange is just gonna point east. Orange.
Yeah, we better keep this boy away from living flesh so he doesn't get the hunger. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
The boy kind of looks down at his hands and mouths, "What have I become?"
It's all right, buddy. We've all got a little baggage. And Gilbert is gonna like kind of pick up the pace a little bit, trying to stay away from the smoke.
Yeah. So by nightfall, you guys are able to get back to Galgenbeck. And you're able to go to the north part of the city to the Chapel of the Two-Headed Basilisk. And upon entering, you are greeted excitedly by the woman that met you earlier. Glass eye wobbles as she runs to you.
Mhm.
Says, "Oh, you were able to find him. Thank you. Thank God. Thank you so much."
I can't believe you trusted us with a child.
We somehow pulled it off. We're not dead, right? We're not dying.
Well, I can't speak for that.
We're all dying. Slowly
It's
or
true.
quickly.
We're all dying slowly. But we're not going to die today. You promised that we wouldn't be gallowsed.
Yes, yes, that is true.
Do we need paperwork for that? Is there anybody that we need to speak to?
No, as long as you are here in Galgenbeck, you don't have to worry about getting gallowsed.
All right. Wonderful. Well, pleasure doing business. Thanks so much. I need a beer.
Yes, there are taverns, and they will be happy to serve you, I'm sure.
Don't worry.
Wonderful.
I'm sure I'm sure the boy will grow to be a proper cook. In the name of she.
Perhaps he might also want to try vegetarianism for a little while. I've heard it's great for the figure. It's very, wonderful for the general population of animals around. Could be good for the environment,
The old woman reaches down and pinches the cheeks of this tubby child and says, I guess that could do you some good, yes.
If anybody wants to know how I get these gaunt cheeks in real life, vegetarianism. All about it. But for real. All about it.
Be careful.
If anyone wants to talk tofu recipes, at me.
Oh, dude, I can talk tofu recipes until the sun burns out.
I think we've had this talk, but I think we were both very drunk. But yeah,
I feel like we should communicate more then, because that is my girlfriend's primary protein intake.
Just throwing that out there. We can have a tofu talk RPG stream.
RPG tofu talk.
I'm down.
Yeah, where we actually
into our
play
after
mice.
show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Our after show talking tofu.
All right. Is there anything else that we need to do?
So other than listening to the tiny dog scream.
Whoa. Don't say that about Ern. She's a huge dog. Ern, you're big.
Ern's big.
Yeah. Just have a small voice. It's okay.
So
I could mute myself to yell at her. Her face is broken.
It has a tendency to break.
Yeah.
So for finishing this mission, we are going to do the getting better or worse
Great
thing. So if you guys have the PDF, this is page 33. If not, it's pretty easy. I can talk you through it. So the first step is more HP. So this is the most dice rolling you'll have to do in Mörk.
So I will say that we are on stream. So for leveling up, this is something where, hey, if you're interested in indie RPGs and especially Borg, this is a cool way to see some of the weird mechanics that this game has. If you're less interested in that, then we should probably do a quick cap episode, post cap thing, real
Screen
quick.
cap.
Yeah, in case people aren't as interested in the inner workings of RPG ridiculousness. Is that a plan?
Yeah. So what
that's
did
a
you
good
want
plan.
to cover in the post cap?
Well, first off, you guys are the best. Thank you guys for joining us. We raised over $100 today, and that's
We did.
completely
Woo!
thanks to you all. Ow, my cat is attacking my foot.
Hey, you have
It
another one.
is the night for pets
Yes.
to add to the game.
No, Zarko.
I really wish your cat had come during a battle scene last week
Right.
and just
Gone ham. So we're gonna be streaming next week. Please no, my feet. We're gonna be streaming next week at 4:00, same time, Saturday, same place, Growling Goblin Studios, and we'll follow the Twitter. What's the Twitter account, Oz?
At disease save.
For more information on the giveaway situation and what all we're doing. I have found some black metal records that I think I will have as giveaways for next week. So, yeah, get excited for that. If you are excited about esoteric music. If you're not, you know at least one friend who is. And if you give it as a gift, they're going to be like, what? No way. Because they're all really weird, like me. So the other thing is we're all going to kind of just give you a quick who we are, where you can find us. And we'll start with our lovely DM.
Everyone, I'm Oz. I'm a cosplayer and artist. I draw a ton of fantasy things. I've drawn some stuff for Goblins and Growlers dungeons that they run. You can find me on Instagram at the Viking Cosplay or Twitter at the Viking Cos. I make things sometimes.
Awesome. I am Alon. I'm with Goblins and Growlers, inclusive community building through tabletop RPGs. And you can find me on Instagram as the Dungeon Meowster because I regularly do nonprofit fundraising for cat sanctuaries through tabletop games.
I am Violet. I'm Violet Cosplay on Instagram and the Twitter. I am a non-binary trans costumer with a focus on fantasy and detail work and making like costuming accessible. So I construct a lot of things and play a lot of RPGs, and I'm right now obsessed with my OCs. So if you would like more tabletop RPG content, especially Critical Role, that's where you can find me.
And I am Kim, Sanji's Closet on Instagram. I like to try to keep my Twitter a little secret because I have former students that follow me on Instagram. I'll take any pronoun as long as you're being respectful. And I mean, I guess cosplay wise, it's mostly anime, fantasy stuff. So, whatever. Join me. Sometimes post some progress shots / tutorials of my work as I'm doing it. And I've actually been hunting for people that might be willing to do some like PowerPoint or video tutorials for my middle school anime club students while they're at home learning from home. So if you'd like to contribute something to that, please hit me up. That would be awesome. Of course, has to be appropriate for 11 to 13-year-olds. So keep that in mind if you feel like you'd like to join me for that. But
Hey, I'm Ben. Drunkle Ben on Instagram and Twitch, and that's pretty much all I use these days. That's Drunkle with a K. I rarely, if ever, stream, but I'm going to start streaming more often on my channel. And on my Instagram, I post pictures of me doing stuff and making beer and giving bad advice. So if you're down for bad advice, hit me up anytime.
And huge shout out to the charities that we're working with, Feed More Food Bank and Printing the Curve Flat. You guys are doing amazing work. I'm so happy to be raising money for you guys. It just feels incredible. I love this stream. I love this game. And shout out to Goblins and Growlers, Growling Goblin Studios, for letting us stream on your channel.
And a huge shout out to Borg for creating this really cool, grimy, lard-focused RPG system.
Yes, very dirty, grimy, disgusting,
and supporting
beautiful.
literally every single post that has been made
Yes.
about this charity
Every single
stream.
one.
That's
Yeah.
so cool.
From Sweden.
Yes.
So now we're gonna do some leveling up. If you want to see how that works in this game, I think it's super fascinating and fun.
It's so cool.
Yeah, so we're gonna do that on stream. But if that's not as of interest to you, thank you so much for joining us. We're back next week at 4, and we're gonna continue to keep our streams 3 hours or shorter. But we thank you guys so much for that little bit of a marathon we had last week on accident.
On purpose.
Yes.
It was a good pilot episode.
It was good.
So wait,
Right.
Oz, what page did you say it was on the PDF?
Yeah, I'm
33.
scrolling.
It's
33.
it's 33 according to the page number at the bottom of the page. In the PDF, like if you're scrolling through the PDF file, it's page 37.
Cool.
Okay.
If you're looking at that like page count, that like box
Mhm.
comes up. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Looking
so
at
I
that, like,
love that it's
page
getting
count
better
that, like,
or worse.
box
Um,
comes up.
because it's
Yeah.
real good. So to
Okay.
start off, and
Looking
so
at
I
that,
love
like,
that it's
page
getting
count.
roll 6d10. If the result is equal to or greater than your current maximum health, increase it by a d6.
Ooh. All right. It's math. Time to do some math.
So wait, help me out. How many d10s?
6.
6 d10s? There's no chance of me rolling under my health.
Yeah.
I'm already over with 2
Where's my other
d10s.
D10?
2 d10s
Perfect.
in. So increase it by a d6.
Yep.
I had 12 hit points. I'm so glad that y'all took most of the blows
Yeah, I'm
there.
already over. Cool. Woo, I
I'm
got a 6.
I'm already over my max health, so I guess I'll add a d6.
I
Perfect.
love their level up system while we're all doing this math because it's variable. So it's like you could take wounds like while you're adventuring that make you less of a talented adventurer, or like you can build it into your story why you're like
Yeah.
regressing. Like
Yeah.
It's so gritty.
oh, I love it.
Like I love having these really cool powers, but you can still get messed up instead of just being a god all the time.
Yeah, like we are not playing an RPG that like eventually makes you a hero.
Right?
You know? Yeah.
Ooh, I got to add 3 health.
Nice.
I also got to add 3 health.
Hey Vi, Inver has a message for you, just praising your
Does
cosplay.
Oh no. Thank you.
Oh no.
Oh, no, I think that's the right reaction.
Thank you so much. Long may he reign. Long may he reign. Also,
gotta-
God bless you for making that coat. I'm sorry. That thing took me 3 watches of what was I watching?
Lard bless you.
Yes, Lord bless you. It took me 3 like full Netflix runs to finish that coat. Wow.
Violet, when are we gonna cosplay tieflings together?
I booked a shoot for Wednesday.
Oh my god.
So there you go. If you're ready by Wednesday.
I mean,
Yeah, let's
I mean, social distancing, but like, when are we gonna
Yeah.
cosplay tieflings together?
Probably at this point, Hall Mat, because like
Yeah.
It's true.
fingers crossed.
We
I will
gotta-
be going to Dragon. If Dragon is a thing, I'm going to Dragon.
Dragon Con is my favorite con, and I will not be going this year.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
seems
no.
low key, high key dangerous.
Yeah.
85,000 plus people in a room.
Yeah.
I understand.
room.
A lot
It
of them
depends.
already have a little bit of trouble with personal hygiene.
And maybe legionnaires.
I stayed
Yeah.
in Legionnaires. I stayed in the hotel last year, and it was you know what, it was nice. You know, they people, it was a little less crowded than usual for some reason. I don't know why, but you know.
Yeah, I'm staying at a hotel that's like a little ways away. So like I feel okay, but I don't like do Dragon in a way that harms my personal health. Also, like I try my best to do Dragon in a way that's like okay.
I make
I'm
sure to
here to have a good
exclusively do
time.
Dragon in a way that harms my personal health.
No, see, I can't. I know people that are like, yeah, I didn't sleep. I'm like, I'm up for shoots at 4
Right.
o'clock in the morning sometimes. Like
Yeah.
I
Yep.
gotta go.
That's the
Inver,
only
I'll
way
get
to
to your
beat the
question
heat.
in a sec. Yeah, that's true.
Mhm.
Inver, we'll get to your question in a sec. So we're gonna continue this leveling up, and then we'll chat for a bit.
Mhm.
So left in the debris you find. So while scavenging around in the dungeon, if each of y'all want to roll a d6 and see what you find. This is a little bit retroactive, but that's okay.
It's fine.
Wait, what is this?
So this is left in the debris
Oh.
you find. So Alon, you got a 4.
Also got a 4.
All right. 5,
Twinsies.
8.
They're triplets.
So Alon, you found 17 silver pieces somewhere in that
Nice.
dungeon.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm rich.
Violet, you have found 12 silver pieces somewhere in that dungeon.
Nice.
Ernge rolled a 3.
Ernge didn't find anything.
Oh, it's okay. His dog made it back, and that is what truly matters.
Orange also has a sweet necklace now.
Also has a really cool necklace now
And
that's
the flail.
covered in slobber and a flail.
Yes, the flail, but like that necklace.
He doesn't always have to chew on people anymore. And the flail is honestly a great trade-off for the bomb. So,
Yeah.
Scrum, what
bomb
did you
flail.
roll?
Oakley, come here.
2. Scrum also did not find anything.
Wah,
Hey,
wah,
You know what
wah.
Scrum found?
Sit.
Scrum found
sit.
himself.
Sit.
Yeah.
Scrum
Trying to
found
get
love
Oakley.
in a hopeless place.
So this is my pup, Oakley.
Hi, mister.
And that's how big Ernge's dog is.
It's beautiful.
So now for ability changes. So roll a d6 against every ability. Results equal to or greater than the ability modifier. Increase it by 1 to a maximum of +6.
Oh, so mine goes up automatically if it's
Yeah.
So abilities from a -3 to a +1 are always increased by a 1 unless the d6 result is a 1. Then you reduce it by 1, but never
Okay.
below -3.
Oh, unless it's a 1. Okay.
Okay. +1.
Cool.
Ooh.
+1s on everything.
Okay.
Nice.
So, I mean, I should get +1 on everything because I've got +0 on everything.
Just don't roll a 1, otherwise it does decrease.
I rolled no
Nice.
ones. I love it.
Damn.
I got
And I have all negative stats or negative modifiers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I have a -3, a -1. Oh, and then I have 2 zeros.
I had 2 zeros and -2 and a +1 because
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna need the 1.
I didn't do bad on my stats rolls, but my hit points.
Oh, I rolled a 1 on presents. So I have -1 on that now, huh?
were brutal.
Dang.
I also
Dang
had
it.
no money. I started with 10 silver.
No mommies.
I
And
started
spent
rich.
it all on lard.
Same.
You did.
This makes sense. I feel like Ernj would be a strong, agile, tough guy who's just not very present.
None of my modifiers changed though.
Oh, you add it to the number, not the modifier.
Yes.
Oops.
No, it's the modifier.
It's the
Oh, it
modifier.
is a modifier.
Yeah.
Haha. Okay. Glad I don't have to erase anything.
So
You roll it against the modifier.
yeah, but then you add it to your base
Ability,
score. Your ability score. Your ability score goes up by 1 or down by 1, right?
not the modifier.
Okay, it says roll a d6 against every ability. Results equal to or greater than the ability, increase it by 1 to a maximum of +6. Results below the ability, decrease it by 1.
Yeah, so it's ability score, and then is it adding to your ability score, or is it adding to your ability?
It's the modifier. It's the
It would be
modifier
the
because the
modifier.
second part is abilities from -3 to +1 are always
Yeah.
increased by 1, but
So-
never
yeah,
below -3.
Because like my presence is a 14 and there's no way that a d6 is going to beat a 14 ever.
Oh, wait. So our initial rolls don't really count for anything. Our scores don't really count for anything. It's the modifier that we're counting.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
Oh, so all my modifiers went up by 1?
Apparently, yeah.
This makes
Wow.
me happy.
Wow. I'm actually
Wow.
very competent.
I don't have any monetary or physical gains, but all of my stats went up and my HP went up, so I'm happy.
Feels
Nice.
good.
Mm-hmm.
So Inver, to go back to your question, the big cosplay that I'm working on is Smash Ultimate Ganondorf.
Yes.
Nice, beautiful.
Big one I'm currently working on. And I apologize for eating. I totally forgot. There are pretzel bites and beer cheese by me, and they're tempting me. Anyway, big cosplay I'm working on right now is Rion from the Dark Crystal.
Yes.
I got the ears and the wig done, and May 15th, Oz and I are moving into a beautiful 3-bedroom apartment with a washer and dryer in unit. So I'm waiting to sew the cosplay until I have a washer and dryer in unit to dye the fabric. So
Heck
Nice.
yeah, and to make it
That's awesome.
kombucha.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly,
that,
yeah.
Mhm.
Yes. I have too many costumes to count, and they're all about the same size. Because I'm crazy. If you want to watch someone devour costume making, as if their life depends on it, then tossing me a follow is cool. But if you don't want the secondhand stress,
I
but
mean,
anyway,
Same though. Like that's Rion's the big project,
Yeah,
but there are like
yeah.
5 small projects next to that.
they're all about the same. They're all about the
I
same. I for my next con, I built I had just built Essek Thalos from Critical Role. But my big thing for Hallmat, I'm gonna make another Molly Mock. I'm gonna make Ghost of
Nice.
Christmas Past Molly Mock.
Ooh.
I'm very excited
I
about
love
it.
it. For
I'm
Holiday
so
Matsuri.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god.
He's gonna have lights. I'm like the candles all
Yeah.
over him. I'm very excited. I can't wait. But yeah, that's what I'm working on. The shoot that I'm doing on Wednesday actually is a FaceTime shoot. So it's like full social distancing time.
Yeah, I'm doing my first one of those tomorrow, actually, with Nia, who was in the chat.
That's
Huzzah.
awesome.
That Oz being a photographer who's
Yes.
doing FaceTime
Yeah.
shoots. Yeah.
Oz does photography and cosplay, so hit him up if you want to see some cool cosplay, whether that's his or photos he's taken. And if you need a photographer,
I do that sometimes.
I'll be totally honest. He's taken all of my favorite Bungo Stray Dogs pictures. Like,
Oh yeah, those are good picks.
mhm.
I'm not too much of a cosplayer. I am trying to make my my Wild Wild Pussycats. I'm trying to update my costume for our Wild Wild Pussycat cosplay. The other thing that I'm thinking about working on is doing a me and my partner are thinking about doing a what was that guy's name? Gentle Criminal and
Gentle and La Brava.
La Brava
Yes.
cosplay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Good.
there's just not enough characters that I can cosplay with mustaches. So
Yes.
yeah, and
Good.
it would be just a very cursed cosplay. So there's a chance that we put that one
Thank
together.
God. When are you guys trying to do this?
You know, I feel like we would have to. The problem is that we don't have a Target con anymore.
So listen, Oz and I have discussed doing Gentle and La Brava, and we need a double Gentle and La Brava double date.
I mean, it seems perfect, right?
It's what has to happen.
I was born to play gentle somehow. Yeah. So yeah, we can make that happen. And then the other thing, I guess, what I'm really preparing for con wise, because I cosplay, but I'm not follow these people for cosplay stuff. They're so amazing. Sandy's Closet, Vivai, Oz, follow Ben for bad advice and beer. I am prepping right now. I have a couple of conventions interested in me running digital role-playing games for them with voice actors and actresses, as some of them are just for content, some of them are for charity stuff. And I'm also collaborating with the people from Whose Role Is It Anyways on some things that I'm not allowed to talk about, but I'm really excited about for charity stuff. So that's why you would follow the Dungeon Master if that is stuff that is interesting to you. I can say the people who have confirmed for my next con stream, which is going to be for Queen City Anime Con, who are like some really delightful people out of Charlotte, North Carolina. But I'm going to be for sure. I'm not going to use their real names, mainly because I forget them right now, which is horrible. But some of the characters that they play, I'm doing Nojiko, the voice of Nojiko from One Piece. So I will have DM'd for Nojiko and Nami, which is like for me a very big personal thing. Yeah, but also the voice of Joestar and the who are some of the other voices that they have done. Yeah, so
I'm losing my mind over these One Piece cosplayers. Like, I need you. I like
the all blue.
oh my God.
So yeah, so that's super exciting. So those are some things that I have coming up as far as digital content, and I'm gonna be probably, I think Gala de Galas we're getting talked to more and more for doing digital content now that stuff is moving out of physical spaces. We might actually be in more cons, and this weekend we have a video going up for Awesome Con in DC. So I don't know if that's live yet or not. I really should. It's in my email somewhere.
And Ben, what are some things you're working on? Beers you got brewing, meads you got making?
I'm working on a build-off entry for a Gunpla shop that's here in Tampa. So that's going to be done hopefully by the week after next.
Nice.
Other than that, I've got some beer brewing. I too also as well am going to start brewing my own kombucha. Just waiting on my allowance from the government to come in, and
Yes.
going to start buying up a bunch of equipment for that.
Nice.
And extra beer equipment because I can never have enough, even though I have too much for our apartment.
Can never have enough.
But yeah, I've got a Belgian blonde that's finishing now. It actually should be done. I'll have to crack a bottle open and find out. And then I'm going to be working on a stout that I'm going to age in an oak barrel because I'm getting a little 1 gallon oak barrel just for test batches. And then I'll be doing another Belgian triple because I like Belgian beers.
Yeah, there was a
Nice.
brief moment where you were like, I've got a Belgian blonde going, and I was like, are you talking about me right now? It's like feeling the eyes on my back. So all exciting stuff. We can talk more about that stuff with all of you next week at 4, along with, we're probably continuing Merkborg for a little bit longer, especially
Yeah.
for new
I
modifiers.
didn't die.
Yeah, you thought you were dead. You had 1 hit point going in.
We got on like the pre-stream like little hangout, and we're just like, so hey DM,
Hey Ben,
please.
how dead are you on a scale of dead to dead?
Oh, pretty dead.
like Minnesota winter dead.
Pretty dead.
Pretty dead.
Oh,
Uh,
Lord be. But yeah, so we'll update you all then. Until then, follow the Twitter account for this stream at
Disease Save.
Perfect. And thank you guys so much for your donations to these charities. We're really happy to be raising money for them. They're amazing and they're local, so you're directly supporting, whether you come from the Florida communities or the Virginia communities. Some people who really need it. So, and if you're not at one of those communities, because I just remember we have tons of Twitch followers who are not from those communities, thank you guys so much. And also, hopefully, we're able to partner with local people around your communities as this grows. Maybe it would be really great. Yeah.
So I actually found out that printing the curve flat has members all over the place. The farthest away I saw was someone in Ontario.
Heck yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Awesome.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Is it okay if I real quick make an anime club question?
Yeah, please
Yes.
do.
So, most states are now continuing virtual school through the rest of the school year. So if anyone knows any middle school teachers anywhere in the country or indeed the world who have anime clubs that they're running virtually right now, I'm trying to put together a middle school anime convention for my students that they could tune in on a giant stream or a giant Zoom call or something.
You have to post that in the Dragon Con Facebook group.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
it'll get
You know what?
hopped on.
I don't have Facebook, so I might have to ask Oz to jump on that for me.
Yeah.
But I know for a fact there've got to be other teachers out there who are trying to run anime clubs virtually right now. And my students are like, we're doing closet cosplay challenges every week. My students are doing everything they possibly can to stay creative and stay active. But, I think it would be so cool for them to meet other middle schoolers. And I'm trying to keep it middle school rather than getting any older than that. Since my anime club kids are between 11 and 14 years old, which is kind of on the younger age of teenager. But if anyone knows any middle school teachers running anime clubs that want to reach out to me via Sanji's Closet on Instagram, I'm going to keep it there rather than sticking my school email address out there.
For the Danish government to come after you.
Yeah. That would be great, kind of give them the opportunity to cosplay together with their peers.
Yeah. And while we're doing PSAs, one last one, if you will, I am very active in the vegetarian and vegan communities. One of the things that's happening right now is that, as you guys may have heard, because of some supply chain issues, there's a lot of animals that would be used in our food for meat processing that are not going to be able to. But to sustain those animals is very expensive to those companies. So they're looking out for their bottom line, as companies kind of have to do to keep themselves running, which is understandable. But they're going to be potentially killing those animals. If you know anybody who has any connections with those types of either farms or meat processing facilities or anything like that, if you could direct them towards, oh my gosh, direct message. Let me make sure that I have this right. I know I just had the full spiel and I don't even have the thing up that I'm trying to promote.
Alon, send me that in the Discord too, because my mom literally lives in a farming community.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. So there's a group who is currently working to ensure that those animals get adopted, and they're willing to pay all the costs of making that happen. And Kitten Lady is one of the people who's managing their contacts. So Instagram, Kitten Lady, if you have any of those contacts, please send them her way, trying to make sure that they take the financial burden off of those companies that can't sustain it, but also save those animals. So that's my
Yeah.
PSA.
Fantastic.
Children and animals. The true heart and core of Mörk Borg.
My little video feed looks very goth right now.
Yeah.
In the realm
Oh
of
yeah,
darkness.
especially with that lighting.
I
It's
just-
like-
It's getting darker
Alon,
outside.
you
Yeah.
talking about One Piece voice actors just like,
Yes. Where did you get that shirt, dude?
oh, Uniqlo.
Mhm.
Oh.
And I
Yeah.
will say too, because she's a really awesome and a good friend, Lucy, who is the voice of Nami, along with the voice of Uraraka and many others, is creating content right now for digital cons as well. So you can find out more about those because she's a good friend at her Instagram, which I think is Lucy's voice. I think something along those lines. Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, I share her stuff every now and again, and she's literally the nicest person in the whole world. Playing D&D with her, it was her first time ever, was delightful.
I'm gonna find her
That's
now.
Yeah, she's great.
All right. So
That's
this has
it.
been the longest sign off known to
Yeah.
All
And
time.
it's taken a little while, but
Yeah.
that's okay.
But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for your donations and listening to our D&D live play and listening to all of our PSAs and the people that we want to help. You guys are all fantastic, and I look
It's-
forward to
yeah.
next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Now I have to find the off button on here. I have so
Yeah.